Warning: Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
I would include Puerto Ricans and other minorities throughout our country, which have been similarly discriminated against, though not for so long a period of time as Negroes.
Puerto Ricans weren't enslaved. Yeah, this is a problem that stems from slavery. And this compensation, yes, sir, this compensation is coming to people who were enslaved by the white man for 400 years. The Puerto Ricans don't even fit into this picture.
Well, they do fit into it.
No,
they do fit into it.
The problem is the Negro problem. They're not lynching Puerto Ricans.
If a dark-skinned Puerto Rican went down to Mississippi, he probably would be lynched too.
Spanish, he wouldn't be lynched.
No, they don't.
It's the Negro here, and as long as he can speak Spanish or some other language, or if he ties his head up with a turban or something, he can go anywhere in Mississippi or in your home that he desires.
You're not aware of the fact, are you, that African students have been arrested in our demonstrations in the South?
When they
speak French.
When they have been mistaken for the so-called Negro in America, they've been arrested.
What?
What it do, family and friends? Welcome back to the Church of Black Power. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button along with the notification bell so you can be notified whenever videos like this drop. Please make sure you're hitting that like and share button so we can beat up the algorithm. Make sure we get this message out to the ears that need to hear. And if you have not done so yet, please click the link in the description, go to change.org and put your signature on the petition for reparations, as well as clicking the link in the description and joining the Telegram group to help us circumvent the shadow banning that PukeTube has been doing to the new black media as of recently. With that being said, family, it has been a hell of a week. We were supposed to do this on Monday, as you all know. However, found out that my roof was leaking and the plumbers were supposed to get it done by that day. Unfortunately, it didn't get finished until yesterday. And so we're here today, but we're here nonetheless. I'm feeling under the weather, but trust me when I say the Most High and the ancestors is moving the spirit through me. And they said, God dang it, get your ass on that microphone today. And guess what? We are here, family. Before we get started, because we already went through an hour worth of that broadcast, we got another 2 hours to get through. So before we get started, let me go ahead and give my B1 salutes. A B1 salute, shalom, and welcome to our family. Estelle Gray in the building, our sister Aquarius Minded, much love to you. Thank you for being here, my good sister, as well as our good sister Hurricane Nisi in the building. Much love to you. Thank you for being here. Our sister Andrea Jones is in the building. Much love to you. Thank you for being here, as well as our sister Sybil in the building. Much love to you. Thank you for being here. Cheryl Bryant is in the building. Much love to you. Thank you for being here. Mr. Fireworks 1000 is in the building. Much love to you. Thank you for being here. Our good sister, the Lotus Tay. I don't know what is wrong with me today. Well, I do know. Forgive me, family. Much love to you. Thank you for being here, as well as our brother Iron Will in the building. Much love to you. Thank you for being here. Our good sister Angelica is in the building. Much love to you. Thank you for being here, as well as our good brother, the Cotton Club Radio in the building. Much love to you. Thank you for being here. If you're not subscribed to that brother's channel, make sure you go and subscribe to that brother's channel. Number one Switchblade is in the building. Much love to you. Thank you for being here. And for all those who are not in the chat, much love to you. Thank you for being here. And all those who's going to catch this on the replay, much love to you. Thank you for being here, family, as well as Only Us is in the building. Much love to you. Thank you for being here, family. Now, let's just jump right up into it. Let's just jump back into it. Let's go here.
Was flim-flam because it took us away from what I'm saying. What I'm saying here is you acting like that somebody's going to spend $1 trillion won't use tools that will separate and will save them some damn money. That is craziness, bro. I am telling you that there are tools right now. Have you taken the DNA test? Watch this. Have you taken the DNA test yet?
Yep. If you wasn't here for the last broadcast, in the last broadcast, we broke down the whole misconception about the DNA and all this other stuff. And all this, and this man is sitting here talking about the flim flam. He's flim flamming right now. All right. He is a 100% fold flim flamming by sitting there talking about you acting like they won't use the tools at their hands in order to make sure that they ain't gonna get played out of no money, but that tool isn't definitive. Let's be very clear about that. Let's continue.
Yes.
Okay, put it up. I don't believe you. I don't trust you. Right. Definitely don't trust.
Brother Dewan, what did your DNA test?
How about you, Sincere? Have you taken a DNA test?
Let him answer.
Hold on. I'm running. No. I want to hit Dewan because he clowns. Because now he took a DNA test, so now he's trolling. So he know what it is, but he playing. Now,
let me say this about this as well. This dude, he's acting as if this is his broadcast. He's acting as if he's the host. The host is telling him, hey, let him answer. I want to hear his answer. And this man is sitting here disrespecting the host. So for her to call him and then have him, oh, I ain't even got there yet. Family, we're going to be doing a part 3, most likely on Friday, because our brother Sincere Love to God, as well as our sister Nicety Girl, they did a broadcast a few days ago that I ended up watching. Actually, they did the simultaneous broadcast at the time that I was actually broadcasting on Sunday. And I went back and watched that broadcast, and come to find out, Dr. Ma'at gave Ankh Sincere Loves the God's number and had him call Sincere, and then had Ankh three-way her in. So there's a lot of weird stuff happening behind the scenes. We're definitely going to talk about that on Friday. However, my point is this. If this man isn't even respectable enough to allow you to be the host, if he's not respectable enough to keep his mouth closed while the host is talking, then my question would be, why would you give him Sincere's number as if it would just be okay? I'm one of those people that's very big on, if I give you my phone number, don't give my phone number to nobody. If I didn't give you the okay, if I didn't give you the go ahead, do not give my number to anybody. I gave you my number because I have respect for you. I gave you my number because I want you to have my number. If anybody else calls me, that's a problem. That is a big problem. So, to me, if this dude wasn't even respectable enough to sit here and allow her to do her hosting duties, there should be no reason, and this isn't the first time that he's done any of this, there shouldn't be a reason why you're giving out anybody else's number to have this person call anybody. That's on me. I'm just putting that for myself, how I feel about that. Shout out to C. Phillips in the building. Much love to you, as well as Nitro in the building. Much love to you. Thank you for being here, family. As well as Swizzy's Playhouse in the building. Much love to you. Thank you for being here. But let's continue. Y'all let me know in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat if you're like me and you don't want nobody giving out your number if you give it to anybody. Put a 2 if you're okay with it. I just want to know if it's just me. Let's continue.
Sincere, have you taken a DNA test?
Brother Dewan, what did you say? Brother Dewan, what did you say?
Watch this. Hold
on. Wait, man, wait. Dewan.
Not be on the road, so do not let him off the road. You gonna flip, man.
What did it say, Dewan?
Watch, he gonna flip, man. Watch.
Was that?
What did your DNA test say? Yes, when you took it.
I have people from Nigeria, from Morocco, from Native America, and from Europe.
Oh, so you had a combination.
I got a question about that.
You did 23. Hold on, Sensei. So you did 23andMe, Brother Dewan?
I did Ancestry, and I also did Ancestry genealogy, and I got paperwork. You know, I could actually show you.
You show the DNA test.
I could actually. I'm not. Again, I don't trust you.
You ain't supposed to.
I can show you where my family lived in Middle Essex, England in 1505.
That's what I'm saying, man.
But you missed something. You missed something, Dewan. It also tells you where your people come from here.
Oh, what is happening here? Okay, while this is buffering, B1 salute and shalom to our good brother, Mr. Ishmael in the building. My brother, I heard you call in on that previous broadcast. Salute to you, my good brother. Salute to you. If y'all aren't subscribed to Mr. Ishmael's channel, go and subscribe to him as well. Let me take this back a little bit to remind folks who wasn't here what the DNA doesn't do.
You can find out your percentages of DNA from 31 populations around the world.
What do you think about the messages that are being sent to consumers?
I think it's misleading. These companies are really trying to push the idea that this is scientific, right? They are using scientific language and they present it in a way that looks very sciencey and precise.
Caulfield says what people are really buying is entertainment.
I think it's recreational science. They can have a little bit of fun with this stuff. Don't take it too seriously, but know that you are just getting some information that is an approximation of how your DNA compares to other people. It's not tracing back your heritage.
All right. So I wanted to play that back so that everybody who wasn't here would hear the genealogist say it himself. It is false. It is not going to tell you where you're from, where your people from, or anything like that. So while they're sitting here telling this to Dewan, let's be very, very, very clear about this. They're lying. They are lying. Shout out to Mark Smith in the building. Much love to you. Thank you for being here. Let's continue. And family, my apologies. I did not switch it back over. Like I said, family, I'm not feeling too well today. So give me a little bit of grace, just a little bit of grace. Okay. Let's get back over here.
Bro, I am telling you that there are tools right now. Have you taken a DNA test? Watch this. Have you taken a DNA test yet? Go on.
Yes.
Okay. Put it up. I don't believe you. I don't trust you. Right. Definitely don't trust you.
Brother Dewan, what did your DNA test?
How about you, Sincere? Have you taken a DNA test?
Let him answer.
Hold on. I'm running. No. I don't want to hit the one because he clowns. Because now he took a DNA test, so now he's trolling. So he knows what it is, but he's playing. Now, Sincere, have you taken a DNA test?
Brother Dewan, what did you? Brother Dewan, what did you?
Watch this. Hold
on. Wait, man, wait. Dewan.
Not you on the road, so do not let him off the road. You gonna flip, man?
What did it say? What did it say, Dewan?
Watch, he gonna flip, man. Watch.
Was that?
What did your DNA test say? Yes, when you took it.
I have people from Nigeria, from Morocco, from Native America, and from Europe.
Oh, so you had a combination.
I got a question about
you
that.
You did 23. Hold on, Sensei. So you did 23andMe, Brother Dewan?
I did Ancestry, and I also did Ancestry genealogy, and I got paperwork. You know, I could actually show you.
You show the DNA test.
I can actually. I'm not. Again, I don't trust you.
You ain't supposed to.
I can show you where my family lived in Middle SS England in 1505.
That's what I'm saying, man.
But you missed something. You missed something, Dewan. It also tells you where your people come from here in the United States. Where do your people come from? That's what Unc is saying. Unc is saying that it can trace your lineage even here. I'm from the people of the Virginian African Americans.
The Virginia and also the Powhatan in Michigan.
No, I'm talking about me. I ain't talking about you. But I'm talking about me.
That's a original Canadian tribe, bro. You ain't no daggone Canadian.
There was no Canada back then, brother.
You know what I mean? The geographical reasons called Canadian is the tribe you just said.
There was no Canada in the 1600s when I got my DNA.
So you saying you don't know what I'm saying, though? You trying to say you don't know what I'm saying now? The tribe you just mentioned is the first tribe that inhabited that area, bro.
Brother, they came from the Pennsylvania area. Your main character syndrome is getting you in trouble, man. I'm
trying to say I'm gonna play this clip. Hey, Doc.
And let me give another shout out to Dewan B for that, for calling out this man's main character syndrome. This man believes this is all about him. He's taken this as an opportunity in order to combat foundational Black Americans. He's taken this as an opportunity in order to try to go back and forth rather than have an actual honest conversation with these two brothers. And like I said, he shouldn't have been there in the first damn place. He should not have been there in the first damn place. If he couldn't even sit on the phone and be quiet, keep his mouth closed while there was some sort of understanding being given between Dr. Ma'at and Sincere Love. So I will put this 100% on Dr. Ma'at's shoulders. You knew what this man was going to be doing because he couldn't even sit back on the phone while you guys were having a proper conversation. And you guys know each other. You guys supposedly had respect for each other. So this dude here, he's proven himself to be an op in every second that goes by. Let's be very clear about that. Let me give a B1 salute to our good sister Hurricane Nisi in the building. Much love to you. Thank you for being a member for 9 months. Thank you for all of your contributions. It is a pleasure, and it is my pleasure, to say the least. Much love to you, my good sister. Let me also give a B1 salute to our good brother Black RU in the building. Much love to you. Thank you for being here, my good brother. Let's continue. Oh, we got a clown emoji. 100% clowning. You know what we gotta do when the family calls out the clownery?
Send in the clowns.
I told you he was going to flim flam, right?
Yeah, but Sincere, did you take a DNA test?
I did not.
Okay, all right, that's fine.
But let's get it straight. Unc is accurate. It told you where your people are from. That can be done. You can call yourself whatever and take the test and prove that your people are from the United States.
Here's the whole thing about it. You're trying to get us caught up in, well, I said the DNA. Look, okay, I will give you all the DNA you want to give.
Thank you.
You can have everything.
Thank you.
I'm dealing with, when I come here, because I was here as far as California reparations, I was here from day one. I drove to Sacramento. You know what I mean? I'm at the Valleys in the Murray Park. I'm at the Valleys at Cal State Northridge, my alma mater. And so I'm here. So I'm talking about how the DNA's fine. How does this place function? How it functions is wherever the money's going to go, that has to be explicitly written out before any check is cut. And when you, in the history of the United States, when you leave ambiguity when it comes to Black Americans, they find a way to send it everywhere but to us. And they've had a track record of doing this for well over 100 years, 170 years now. And so what we're saying is to prevent the United States from United Statesing is to have it very explicitly cleared out before any check is cut. And how do you trace an FBA? You trace an FBA who could trace their lineage. First of all, they have to currently identify as Black. And if they can trace their lineage to the 1870s, most of us can, those will be the people allocated the money.
Shout out to our brother Dwan B once again, because what he's saying is absolutely factual. Name me one program that was installed that was supposed to be for foundational Black Americans that was not basically opened up to minorities, people of color, and all that other nonsense. You can't do it because everything that is supposed to be for us, they turn into a situation that's for everybody else. We're not dealing with a situation where the history shows that once we implement something like the Jews, when they implement something, nobody else can touch it. However, whenever we implement anything is implemented for us. The history have shown that the opposite happens. They will find a way to kick open the door. It started 100% fold with the 14th Amendment. You see, a lot of Nabisco women wanted to use the 14th Amendment in order to get their voters' rights. And because Sojourner Truth was standing against it and she spoke up against it, Frederick Douglass, who was an avid friend of the women's suffrage movement, he stood against it. The Supreme Court said, yeah, this was never meant for anybody outside of the descendants of slaves. But the people who was able to push it through, to crack open the door, that was corporations. Corporations was the first to crack open the door. Because even though the Supreme Court's denied the Nabisco woman, they looked at the corporations and said, you know what? This can apply to corporations. After that, it became a clusterfuck where everything opened up to people of color. Let's be very clear about this. So yes, the wording has to be absolutely correct. It has to be absolutely exact, or they will use the loophole of wording in order to shoehorn everybody else into something that was made for us. That's supposed to be for us. A B1 salute to Priscilla Taylor as well as Hurricane IQ. Much love to the both of you. Thank you for being here. As well as a B1 salute to our sister Faith Speaks Life. Thank you for being here and thank you for your Cash App donation. Your donation is blessed tenfold and I appreciate your contribution as always. As well as our good brother Black Truth United. Much love to you, my good brother. Thank you for being here and thank you for your Cash App donation. Your donation is blessed tenfold, and I appreciate your contribution as always. And shout out and a B1 salute to our sister Black Spider in the building. Much love to you. Thank you for being here. Celebrate 9-month membership. Support Black by Black. Much love to you, my Black queen. Thank you for being here and thank you for your contribution. It is tenfold blessed and I appreciate you as always, my sister. Let's get back into it. Exactly. The banana in the tailpipe finesse. That's exactly what it is. It is. Oh, hey, look, here you go. Look, I got this in my hand for you. This is for you alone. This is for you. Until it's not for you. Let me go ahead and start giving this out to everybody else around you, and you become the person at the bottom of the barrel. You're the person at the back of the line. I don't know if you guys ever seen that meme of the black brother standing in line to get a piece of cake, and the cake is supposed to be for him. But yet, Uncle Sam is giving out the cake to everybody else. And by the time he gets to the front of the line, there is no cake left. That's exactly what it is, a finesse. Shout out to C. Phillips. Thank you for that comment. Let's continue.
You can do all of that without even changing the name. You can write all that out.
Why are y'all sitting around here playing, man?
You can write all of that.
Sitting here playing with us, man.
You can write all of that out.
If y'all got
trolling,
clearly, you can write all of that out without changing your name.
Can you share my screen, Doc? I'm talking to you.
No, you can't write all that out without changing the name. That's stupidity. That is willful ignorance. If we've seen what they do every goddamn time something is supposed to be for us, why the hell wouldn't we take the precaution into making sure that you're not going to be able to shoehorn other people on a technicality? Because that's what it is. It is a technicality that people from all over the globe who has melanated skin can come to America and call themselves African American. It isn't even questioned. So, Dr. Asar, you're absolutely incorrect. You can't do all that without changing the name. You have to make sure that whatever bill is written for us, it is down to the T, strategically breachable. We have to make sure that everything, and I mean everything in that bill, time after time, if you read my reparations bills, then you would now understand why I made sure to put foundational Black American freedmen all through that bill. Even when it would seem like it's a little bit, redundant. I made sure to do that for one reason and one reason only. It makes the bill unbreachable. You can't just slide any old body into that bill. You can't shoehorn any other group into that bill. Why? Because it is for foundational Black American freedmen. So him saying you could do all that without changing the name, history says otherwise. A B1 salute, shalom to our good family, Claude, Nilly, Francis, Amos. Thank you for your Cash App donation. Your donation is blessed tenfold, and I appreciate your contribution as always. Family, as FBAs, we should never allow our enemy to frame the argument. It's a trap. We should change the framing of all their arguments. Our FBA ethnogenesis, our unique common identity is the right framing. Thank you for that comment. That is a fantastic addition. Yes, we shouldn't allow anybody to change the framing of our identity. We've already decided who the hell we are. And if y'all believe in self-determination for the Africans, then ain't no taking it back when it comes down to foundational Black Americans. Let's be very, very clear on that. A B1 salute to our good brother RBJ in the building. Much love to you. Thank you for being here, family, as well as Jazz. Much love to you. Thank you for being here. You seen that meme? Yeah. And that's why we're not playing no games when it comes down to what belongs to us. Yeah. We're not doing it. And also a B1 salute to our family V for Vengeance in the building. Much love to you. Thank you for being here, my good brother. As well as our brother John Son in the building. Much love to you. Thank you for being here. And our sister Tampa Bay is in the building. Much love to you. Thank you for being here, my good sister. Let's continue.
But California, we did write it out without changing the name.
Okay, that's
I'm
what
not
I'm saying.
stuck on the name.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Here's the thing. We're talking about FBA.
Let me tell you what you're saying. This is what you're saying. You playing now. This is what you're saying. You said this.
Now I'm clowning.
Yeah, here you go.
You can do all that.
Here you go.
Change the name.
This how I
He
know
agreed.
it's all foolery. They
He
can't
agreed.
defend
That's
it.
it. You heard your brother say
So that's
you can
one
do
thing
all
I
of that
want to step away
without
from.
changing your name.
Man, you gotta let me you talk.
You gotta let it. Yeah, Dr.
I'm sorry.
You talk to it. I'm playing it.
It's pretty hypocritical that I try to tell Dr. Asar, you gotta let this play. You gotta let me play this. You know, you won't let anybody goddamn talk. You sitting here making this all about you. But you telling other people, you gotta let this play. You gotta allow me to play this. Shut your ass up. Oh, yeah. Well, I'm not even going to try to hold back from cursing on this one. I'm too sick to even deal with trying to hold back my curse words. We're going all the way in on this one. And all those who don't appreciate me cussing, I'm going to let you know ahead of time. You got to forgive me. My apologies to you. But this is going to be one of the motherfucking days. Let's get into it. Shout out to our good brother, still Kevin Trees. Much love to you. Thank you for being here, my good brother, as well as Burnish Brass in the building. Thank you for being here, my good brother. Let's continue.
Your own words. I'm tired of playing now. No, what everybody said. Nah, we ain't saying.
I'll come right off your energy, pardon.
He's sitting up here, no daggone well. Close out with a statement. Here you go. This how I know it's all foolery. They can't defend this. So that's one thing y'all gonna have to step away from. Yeah, you may play with the word FBA,
Listen to
but I'll
this.
be damned if you ain't gonna step away from acting like the first people in America was black people. That's one thing we say on my screen.
He's saying that the first black people in America, he's saying that it's pseudoscience, saying that the first black people in America weren't black. Well, who were they then? Are you gonna answer? Does this dude not know that black people were across the planet from day one? Like, I stand by that. This book by David Imhotep is a good one. The First Americans are Africans.
Not a good book.
It's a lot of these good books you can get. Talk about black folk.
Y'all heard Dr. Maad up there talking about it's not a good book. It's not a good book. I'm gonna be honest with you. I thought it was a phenomenal book. Now, I've only read it one time. But when I put the book down, I was like, you know what? I would buy more books. I would buy more books. This was intriguing enough to keep my attention. So she might not have liked the book, but I liked the book. Dewan liked the book. Who are you to say that it's not a good book? A B1 salute to our good brother DSB in the building. Much love to you. Thank you for being here, my good brother, as well as Christian Wright in the building, and much love to you. Thank you for being here, family. But let me also say this. If everybody agrees on the out of Africa theory, or really all the scientists agrees with the out of Africa theory, that means they will also agree with the theory, exactly, my good brother, contrarian. That would mean that they would also agree with the continental shift narrative. And what that means is that at one point, all the continents were attached to each other. And later on, there was a shift that broke those continents apart. Beforehand, like our good brother says, it was called Pangea. So if you agree on the out of Africa theory, but don't agree on the Pangea situation, then you need to kind of look at yourself and figure out why. And if you agree with the Pangea situation, then you can't disagree that there were black people all over the globe, in every area, on every continent. And if you disagree with that, then you disagree with the out of Africa theory. Because you can't explain the out of Africa theory without explaining how these melanated people got to all these different locations, and you claim people wasn't traveling on boats. So you gotta then tell me, how did melanated people get to Australia? You gotta then tell me, how did melanated people get to Hawaii? You gotta then tell me, how did melanated people get over to Fiji? If you believe in the out of Africa theory, there shouldn't be any debate about whether there was melanated people all over this globe. Very simple. Shout out to our brother AO in the building. Much love to you. As always, my good brother Pangea. Evolution is all his story in the end. Absolutely, my good brother. Absolutely, my good brother. Let's continue. Shout out to our brother John Son. He says, we spot him a mile away these days. Absolutely, my good brother. Let's continue.
Not good book.
It's a lot of these good books you can get. Talk about black folks in America. You know, you got
I haven't been heard of them.
Dr. Clyde Winters, the world history of the black race, and the black that was all across the planet. And even on the back cover here in North America, you know, like it's a lot of places you can go. His whole point of view is black Americans, black people, dark-skinned people weren't here in America. This nigga really thinks the Indians was here, right? He really thinks the Indians are like Charleston Heston.
All right, let me move to the next clip. I'm getting both of them at the same time. We're gonna sit here and play around. This is crazy. I'm not doing this, man. I ain't got time for this, man.
I just
noticed that whatever book he brought out, they were saying, not a good book, not a good book. When people write books, right, they do research. And they got a whole page in the back called an annex and references. If you don't agree with the book, let the brother know where the book went wrong. They didn't do that. They just kept on going and saying, no, that's not a good book. That's not a good book. Well, why isn't it a good book? That person did just as much research as you guys, but the difference is the book that he's bringing up isn't your books. When this broadcast first started, Dr. Ma'at was promoting her classes and her books and things like that. And she was talking about how we were here. In one of the books, it talks about the Aboriginal. And she says, and I'm not talking about the pretendians, I'm talking about the real Aboriginals that was here. So you agree with Dewan that there were Black Aboriginals. You're just not agreeing with the books that he's bringing forth. Let's continue. A B1 salute and shalom to our sister Starte Jones in the building. Much love to you, my good sister. Thank you for being here, as well as our good brother Retro Gemini 99 in the building. Much love to you. Thank you for being here, my good brother. I want to make sure I say this right. If I don't, please charge it to my head and not my heart. Hoship, much love to you. Thank you for being here, my good sister, as well as a B1 salute to our good brother, Drew Laston. Thank you for your Cash App donation, my good brother. Your donation is blessed tenfold, and I appreciate your contribution as always, my good brother. On the road, but listening in the background. Much love to you, and thank you for being... My fault, family. Got a text message. Thank you for being a good brother and one, not just donating, but being a staunch member, a staunch brother who's been down with me since day one. So you drive safely, my good brother. I got to make sure you know that. Much love to you. Let's continue.
That's the same thing.
No, let me go to the next clip. Here goes sincere. Same nonsense.
We went through a whole breeding process, y'all. Mind you, even if you want to go with the story of we all was brought here on slave ships from Africa, we know that that's not true. We know that the majority of us was already here, and there was a small number of people that came to the United States of America.
Who were sent different places.
Right. But the ones that came here, a very small number. But even if we were to go with the popular false narrative that Black people are only here in America because we were brought here on slave ships, that's the popular false narrative. Even if we was to go with that, when you study the history, even after the transatlantic slave trade stopped, they were still breeding niggas over here. We had breeding farms over here.
Right.
Language was erased. Culture was erased. Your entire identity was erased from you.
It wasn't.
So you wiped the slate clean.
So see now the day going rubbing hit the road. I don't feel like hearing all that. In your heart, in your heart, both of y'all two, in your mind, right? You deny that your ancestors came from Africa. You said it right out your mouth. The supposed story of Black people. I don't know. I don't understand. I don't understand none of that. Let me finish my point. I don't understand because I know you misuse me. I don't trust your ability to apply yourself right. I'm saying that these two individuals right here. First of all, I don't make a call. We call the litmus test. Do y'all brothers support vaccinations? That's a litmus test.
Family, this man, he ain't even arguing any point, to be honest with you. This man is just picking things out of the air and seeing what sticks on the wall, tossing shit at the wall and seeing what the fuck lands. This dude is not intelligent by no means in this conversation. He might be intelligent in other areas, but when it comes to this conversation, this dude is dumb as a rock. What the hell does a vaccine have to do with whether or not we came here on ships? If people came on ships, if we came here and we wasn't here before the ships got here, then you would have to explain to me, what is hoodoo culture? And why was it being practiced for so damn long? Why is it still being practiced? Because hoodoo culture, You have to know the herbs here in America. Most of the herbs that is used in hoodoo culture are native to the Americas. If people were brought here from Africa, they wouldn't understand the significance of the different herbs that are native here in America. Hoodoo culture was practiced by and still are practiced by our indigenous people of America. Prove me wrong. You're not going to find some of the, now don't get me wrong, there was some herbs that you can find in Africa, but the majority of the herbs used in hoodoo, wheatgrass and all that, that's not native to Africa. As somebody who grew up in a family who didn't play that at all, my dad was so goddamn, I used to think it was superstition, but it wasn't. Like I said, my father, he's half Blackfoot, half Creole. And if you was to split a pole walking down the street with him, he would grab you by the back of your damn collar and roll your ass on the other side of that pole. Like, don't be splitting no poles with me. I remember one time I swept his feet. He lost his goddamn mind. He started spitting all over the damn broom. And he told me, boy, don't you ever sweep my feet again. And I said, Dad, it was just an accident. He said, accident or not, you be very careful. So when we're talking about hoodoo culture, my family did not play with that shit. My grandmother, she used to tell me all the time, when you're old enough to understand it, you'll understand it. As I got older and I started doing my research into hoodoo, everything came just rushing back to me like, oh, damn, like my good brother Black R, you just said, flashbacks. Everything started flashing back on me. Every damn thing that my dad used to do, everything my grandpa used to do, and my grandma. But my grandmother, she was more closeted with what she used to do. Of course, I would go into her room, I would see her altars and things like that. But I never seen my grandmother act the way that my father and my grandfather acted. But I digress, family. I digress. You would have to explain to me how those Africans was able to understand not just the herbs that are native here, but the ability of those herbs, the attributes of those herbs, and why you use certain things like black-eyed peas. I'm not even going to go deep into it, but y'all know, those who know about the black-eyed peas. You can't do it. In the very same way, you can't take somebody from America, send them over to Africa, and all of a sudden they know about the herbs that are native to Africa. You're not going to send anybody from America over to Africa and they already know what to do with situations that are in Africa. You're not going to be able to tell me. Shout out to our good brother Berners Brass. Look, same thing as rolling the corn on the cob under your feet. Say it again, my good brother. I remember doing that as a child. That's indigenous. Didn't y'all know that? Exactly. Exactly. Shout out to our good sister, Mrs. Denise Hood-tastic Williams in the building. Much love to you, my good sister. I had to take a breath because, like I said, I'm not breathing really well today. But shout out to our sister C. Phillips. She says, excuse me. My great-grandfather, born in 1890 from Arkansas, used to go to the woods, grab herbs, and heal folks from all kind of things, particularly STDs. Absolutely. Absadamlutely. My brother AL, Black Eyed Peas every New Year's. Come on with it. See, these are conversations we can have with each other because that's our culture. And you can't explain to me how folks across the goddamn Atlantic knew how to use and utilize things that we have in our culture without being here. And some people might argue maybe they learned it. You're not going to be put on a plantation and be used as the medicine woman when you just learned something. Let's be very clear about that. You think the Nabisco is just going to trust you? And he enslaved you? No, he knew what you were doing wasn't just a benefit for all the slaves, but a benefit for him too. And that's why he was so willing to have you as a medicine woman, because he knew you knew what you were doing. Family, like I said, these motherfuckers think that we're stupid. The fact of the matter is this: my oral traditions that was passed down to me is way more important and way more factual than any tap dancing, boot licking, coon ass nigga who wants to call my grandmother and grandfather a liar, who wants to call my great grandmother and grandfather a liar. You got me fucked up. Let's continue, family. Because if I continue on that, I'll digress even further. We'll start talking about all the type of stuff that used to happen when we was little. Shout out to our good brother Brenner's Brass one more time. He said, church, 100%. Our grandmothers praying over us every school year. FBA, y'all be knowing. Exactly. Exactly. I'm inclined to believe my grandmother and grandfather over some bald ass, tap dancing, cooning ass nigga. A B1 salute to our good brother Tater Man in the building. Much love to you, as well as Terry X10 in the building. Much love to you. Thank you for being here, family. Hey, I agree with you. Low key need to block Africans out of American culture. And not even low key, I high key agree with you, family. I high key agree with you. Let's continue. Oh, and Ankh, I'm sure if you're watching, you're upset. I'm sure you're punching air right now. Because I did see you come up on Sincere Loves the Gods broadcast on Sunday to spew more of your nonsense. So if you saw the thumbnail and saw yourself, and you thought you were going to come in here and you would hear me and you would sit here and be able to come on up as well, punch the air some more, because your dumb ass ain't getting up on this platform at all. I want to make sure you heard that. Your dumb ass will not be getting up on this platform. Now, let me take that back. You might not be dumb in other areas, but when it comes to our history, your dumb ass ain't coming up. Let's continue.
Put a strong argument because you don't know.
No. I just want to ask you a question. I want to see where you at. Dewan, do you support African American community getting vaccinated for the health and safety? I asked you a question.
No, I'm not going to go for that.
Thank you. How about you just say it? You've answered. How about you just say it? Watch this. Sincere. You support the African American community getting vaccinated? It's a litmus test around here.
Hey,
non sequitur.
Like our brother Sincere said, it's a non sequitur. To be honest with you, it ain't none of your damn business. That's between whatever FBA and their doctor. Just like any other medical procedure. My brother's a doctor. My brother is a doctor, and he tried to tell me about the vaccination, and I explained it to him so damn clear. Shout out to our sister, Miss Nisi. She said, if Unc show up in the chat, I'm out for real, for real. Nah, Miss Nisi, that's why you got a wrench. Get his ass out of here. Damn that. Shout out to my sister. No. What was I saying? My brother's a doctor. And we spoke about the vaccine, and he was telling me how dangerous it is if we don't force people to do so. And I explained to him very simple and very plain. You're the doctor. I'm the person studying to be a lawyer. I am not going to tell anybody they need to go get vaccinated. Why? Because that's a freaking slippery slope. If you can force somebody into a medical procedure, don't you think that they're going to take that as precedent? Don't you think they're going to take that as precedent and they're going to force people to get medical procedures? Don't you remember when they used to force black women to get sterilized if they had so many children and they were on the county? When I explained that to my brother, he looked up and he said, you know what, you're right. I said, I know I'm right. Nobody should be forced to do anything, any type of medical procedure. This is why we have HIPAA laws. So by him talking about the vaccine as if that's a good litmus test, he's a freaking bald-head idiot. Your glasses look fake. You look dusty. Exactly, family. Fear and finesse. Fear and finesse. A B1 salute and shalom to our brother Reparations Nation in the building, as well as our brother Jesse Paris in the building, as well as our good brother B1 Business in the building. Much love to each and every one of you. Thank you for being here, family. Let's continue.
Yeah, we already know that we're dealing with some anti-scientific people.
I know when I'm dealing with a strong
Hey, Dr. Malcolm, hear my point, right? See, they running.
My brother Dewan said, I know when I'm dealing with a straw argument. He keeps calling out this man's straw man arguments because that's all this man has. It's straw man arguments. Shout out to whole ship. Thank you very much for this comment, because you're absolutely correct. I almost forgot about that. Like they force lobotomies on disgraced wives and politicians, you are Absolutely correct. My good sister. Thank you for that. Let's continue.
Because if I didn't support vaccination, I was like, hell no, I don't support that. But they running. And guess what? They're not going to tell us the truth. I had to force them clips in there so that we know that we're talking to two people that vividly disagree with the slave trade. Point blank. Now you're calling for help, backing me up. She can't help you now, bro.
Let me. I do want to respond, brothers. I do want to respond to the clip. I want to respond to the clip. See, now then when I start muting, mute me out. Listen to what I'm saying, y'all. First of all, I'm laughing at Brother Dewan. Brother.
First and foremost, shout out to B1 Business for this. Ankh was just trying to filibuster by crowbarring the vaccine, excuse me, and DNA BS. Our lineage is our lineage no matter what they believe, and I agree with you 100-fold. But shout out to Against the Grain TV. Thank you for being here, family. For this comment, Unc can go bite through vibranium, and I hope he chip every tooth in his mouth. Every tooth. Much love to you, my good brother. Thank you for being here, family. Let's continue. He's just being a buster. Real stuff. I was supposed to say he's just he's too emotional. Absolutely. Absolutely. Jesse is cold. Jesse said, I think Ankh is a crackhead. Oh, yeah, they should call you Judge Jesse. I know a crackhead when I see a crackhead. Shout out to Bernice Brown. She said, Brother Church, I call him Ankh shit. I feel you. I feel you. Let's continue, family.
The one matches Ankh's energy. They match each other's energy, Dr. Assad. That's why I'm laughing at both of them. They both crack jokes. They both make faces. They both match each other's energy. But anyway, I wanted to say this. I just wanted to say this. Sincere, when you said the slate was wiped clean, brother, that you don't wipe. When people come from cultures and they go somewhere, you don't wipe the slate clean. You carry your culture with you. You carry your language with you. Facts. You carry your ways of living with you. So when you said,
all right, this goes back to my point. If they came by ship, if our ancestors came by ship, they would carry their culture over here with them, correct? All right. Then you would still have to explain to me how they knew about the native herbs over here. If they carried their culture over here, they wouldn't know about their culture over here. Am I wrong? If I'm wrong, somebody please let me know in the chat. If I, as a Black American, as a foundational Black American, go over to Africa and I carry my culture over to Africa, would I know how to use the herbs in Africa? Would I know how to use the native fruits and vegetables in Africa? No. So you're proving my point. If people are carrying their culture, they would be oblivious to all of that. Let me say that again. If they came over here and carried their culture with them, they would be oblivious to the herbs that are native here, to the fruits and vegetables that are native here, and they wouldn't know how to use them. Shout out to Uncensored Truth in the building. Much love to you, as well as M. Hamilton in the building. Much love to you. Thank you for being here, family. As always, our good sister Tampa Bay said, Ankh, more like ain't. You're absolutely right, my sister. He ain't got the proper information, and if he does, he ain't trying to use it. With his head looking like something that a squirrel had nibbled on. Let me continue. Shout out to our good brother Breeze Omega in the building.
They just wiped the slate clean as if we just was, you would actually agree. There was this guy who went viral a while ago because he misrepresented the work of Dr. Joy DeGruy. And he said that, Black Americans, he was talking about us. He said, we're like Frankensteins. He said, white people put us together because when we got over here, we had no culture. We were totally separate from Africa. That's not true, brother. That's not the way culture works. If I take you, sincere love to God, and I drop you off in Australia right now, right? You're going to take with you your identity, your culture, and your language, and you're going to do the best you can to survive in your new environment. And that is what happened to our African ancestors who did come over. It was no slate that was white clean, brother. That's why you have inside of our culture a lot of Africanisms, whether people want to agree with it or not. You do have Africanisms. Even people who study Black English, what they call it, the Black American dialect, we pronounce certain words as a result of our the African languages that
prove that. This is so easy to just debunk. Prove it. The burden of proof is on you. When you go into a courtroom, if you're being charged with something, the burden of proof is on the district attorney in order to prove that you did what they say you did. If you are trying to say that the way we speak and the way we were able to create several different languages, not just speaking English, we were able to create Tutnese, we was able to create the Creole language, you got to prove to me that everything that we do is because of the fact that we come from Africa, and not everything, but the things that you're saying. You can't just say it. And this is what I've come to find that a lot of these Pan-Africans have been doing. They're just saying shit. And they're not even able to break down or show, okay, this is how we were speaking here, and this is how we were speaking here. And if you really look in between the dialects, they're really saying, if you look how they say this word and this word, God dang it, most of the freaking people over there were speaking in clicks and god dang babble. But you want to tell me that the way we say certain words is because of their clicks and babble? Without any type of evidence or proof? I call that nonsense. I'm calling cap. And English. Why do you think our people speak Ebonics? Absolutely, my good brother. Absolutely. Let's continue. Wait, hold up. That's another great comment right there. Shout out to our sister Hoship. She said the consistent gaslighting, no matter what, how ridiculous. Excuse me. The consistent gaslighting, no matter how ridiculous, is done wear us down. Absolutely. Absolutely. Trust me when I say you're talking to us like we're dumb. And really all it is you wanting to be attached to something that you benefit from. Like I said, Dr. Ma'at, she has businesses over in Africa. I don't know if she had land, but I know she has businesses over there. In the very same way that James Small has land and he has businesses over there. But I'm not one of those type of people to just let somebody tell me shit and they can't back it up with facts. There's more facts showing that we're from here. But let's continue.
we spoke prior to coming over here. So we don't even speak English the way an English man or woman speaks it because of the dialects, because of our African languages that we brought with us, you know? And so I just wanted to say that that was the pushback that I would have given you on that clip. And then, well, you can disagree. People take their culture with you. I mean, you can disagree with that fact all you want, but the reality is if I take you over to Australia, you're going to take your culture with you. It's not going to be swipe clean. That's the first thing I wanted to say. Another thing I wanted to say, I was listening to Brother Dewan talking. Brother Dewan, what was your statute throughout? You said only 400,000 people were brought to the United States or who came straight directly from Africa to here, correct? You say roughly about 400,000. I want to say this. They really don't know what the numbers are. But a lot of times when people talk about the transatlantic slave trade, they don't talk about the transshipment trade. Brother Dewan, are you familiar with the transshipment trade that took place? Okay, so a lot of people would just say, "Oh, a lot of ships didn't go directly from Africa to the 13 colonies or to America." Yeah, a lot of people forget about the transshipment trade. There were a lot of ships that went directly from Africa to the Caribbean, and then from the Caribbean came to the United States.
Yes.
Family, let's address that. The transshipment trade was happening before the transatlantic slave trade. And what do I mean by that? The transshipment is a situation where they were taking indigenous people and shipping them throughout the Caribbean and the Americas. So the aboriginals of these lands were being enslaved and shipped throughout the Caribbean and the Americas. Then, once they got done with that, switching people's goddamn native heritage and all this other situation, they went and started doing it over in Africa, where they started taking people as slaves, purchasing slaves, and bringing them to the Americas. It doesn't make sense that you would have a bunch of people who not only was taking indigenous people into slavery, but then they would go over to Africa, take them to America, and then take those same Africans to the Caribbean. Or take them to the Caribbean and then take those same Africans to America. No, majority of the time, where the slaves landed, they were sold on that land. And people from America wasn't flying over the goddamn Jamaica, wasn't flying over the Dominican Republic or anything like that in order to bid on slaves. No. That makes absolutely no sense. But there are some situations where Caribbeans were brought to the Americas. But usually they were brought as laborers for people who was driving the ship. So they would bring slaves with them so that they can basically be the laborers to take all the stuff off of the ship and sell it to whoever they're selling it to. So no, we're not going to just, people were brought from Africa and then they were being shipped from the Caribbean over to America. No, it doesn't make sense. People wasn't going over there to purchase them. Let's continue, family. Shout out to D-Rails in the building. Much love to you. Thank you for being here, family. We enslaved each other I'm gonna need you to go ahead and go into some details about that. When you say we enslaved each other, who are you speaking of? We enslaved our people here and sent them to other countries. Prove that. Prove that. I want you to put into the chat. I want you to put your resources. We enslaved each other and sold them to other countries. You sound like a straight tether. You sound like somebody who really don't know what the hell you're talking about. Hey, I guess you fit right on in with this panel. With the exception of Dewan B and our brother Sincere, of course. All the Black Indian tribes enslaved each other and sent them all over the Caribbean. As I said, what are your resources? What are your sources? Because in order to do that, there would be a trail. There is no trail that says that we was enslaving each other. There is a paper trail that shows that, god dang it, the red natives enslaved us. But that was because of the fact that, god dang it, they were working with the Nabisco. You said the Yamasee Wars, the Gullah Wars. You still aren't giving me any sources. Cite your sources. Like my sister Astarte Jones just said, cite your source. We don't do that here. This is like classrooms here. If you write me a paper, you better damn well bring your sources. Otherwise, you're just saying shit. Shout out to Shorty McGriff in the building. Much love to you. Thank you for being here. Black indigenous tribes went to war with natives and white people. Exactly. The red natives and white folk. Shout out to Jesse James in the building of Houston. Shout out to Houston. Much love to you. Apparently that dude hasn't seen the census records. Can you do it? Go ahead, my sister. If you're not bringing no real scholarship, then you are out of here. Blacks fought against each other. Like I said, if that was the case, you would be able to bring scholarship. You haven't brought not one book. You haven't named not one historian. Not one. All right, we're done with you. If you're not bringing scholarship, you're done here. You're done. Let's continue. now the Morris packed his ass up, church. Hey, somebody need to pack his ass up some more. You see what I did there? Yeah. Let's continue. Shout out to our sister Mystic Scram. That reminds me of when my grandpa used to say skedaddle. That used to I used to break out in tears every time my grandfather used to say, y'all skedaddle now. take your ass outside and go do something with yourself. Go skedaddle. Shout out to you, my sister. Shout out to you. Let's continue.
But people forget that part. They just focus on ships going from the United States or the 13 colonies back and forth to Africa. Ships rarely left the United States and went to, well, the 13 colonies and went to Africa. Most of the enslaved Africans did come up through the Caribbean. If you go to Charleston, South Carolina, shout out to Brother Charles down there.
Oh, that makes absolutely no sense. You just contradicted yourself. You said ships rarely left from the Americas and went over to the Africa, but yet you just said they were transporting Africans. Well, if the ships rarely left, how were they transporting Africa? How were you transporting the Africans? I'm just asking questions that a logical thinking person would ask. If ships rarely left the Americas, then how were they transporting Africans? One can deduce that they wasn't trafficking Africans. They were trafficking the indigenous people of those lands. So you just explained exactly what I was just explaining a few seconds ago before that tether came up in here. They wasn't bringing Africans. They was transporting indigenous people from all the different lands of the Americas. Church, my grandfather used to tell me to keep your nose clean. Jacob, keep your nose clean. Hey, that right there, that is a true grandparent saying. Not just grandpa, grandmothers to say this too. You better keep your damn nose clean. If I find out that you out there in some shit, it's me and you. Do you hear me? It's me and you. So trust me, my brother. I understand that keep your nose clean all damn day. Shout out the whole ship. She says tobacco was used for medicine in the Europe, excuse me. They traded with Americans for tobacco and sugar. We controlled the trade. We controlled the plantations prior to colonization. Say that again, my sister. Let me take a sip of my water real quick. These folks don't think we know our history. That's the difference between them and us. We actually do know our history. Shout out to FBA Convo in the building. Much love to you, my good brother. Thank you for being here, as well as our brother Maneuver in the building. Much love to you. Thank you for being here, my good brother. Exactly. How could they possibly transport that many slaves without any type of rebellion? Good question, my good brother. Good question. Let's continue.
He does wonderful tours. A lot of people from Barbados came in through South Carolina. A lot of people from South Carolina who came into the Carolinas, they come from Barbados. So I just want to put that.
And that does not change the fact that, god dang, those people who came from Barbados were the indigenous people of Barbados. And now they're FBA. Why? Because they had an ethnogenesis. So let's put everything into context. Let's continue.
Out there, because a lot of people will, when they talk about the transatlantic slave trade, they fail to talk about the transshipment trade that took place. A lot of our ancestors came out of Jamaica, Barbados, St. Martinique, and also St. Dominic. But a lot of people don't talk about that part of the transatlantic slave trade. Go ahead, brother.
I want to make one point with that. I agree with that. But you know another part, that a huge omission that's left out is the intracontinental slave trade.
Yeah.
When the Louisiana Purchase happened, because before America was on the tobacco system during the 13 colonies on the East Coast, when the Louisiana Purchase happened and cotton and became king, you can find books like up on these shores where you see hundreds of thousands of black people that were captured as prisoners of war that were marched down from the Midwest. That Charleston, Carolina was a huge port to ship people around the Horn of Florida to New Orleans to supply the new demand. Over 400,000 people came from the Carolinas, and we're talking about 1815, 1810, 1820. They were shipped around the Horn to
Where they come from, though?
To Louisiana. You also
Where they come from?
You also got people like Solomon. I'll give you an example. Solomon Northup.
Yes,
you know
Solomon
who he
Northup.
is?
Solomon
Solomon Northup. Yeah.
Remember they made this.
Notice how this dude is sitting there talking about where they come from. Where they come from. Shut your mouth up and listen, and that way you'll learn something. This dude reminds me of somebody who was in school who thought they knew more than the teacher. Well, actually, the slave trade, no matter how it happened, all the people there, they actually came from Africa, and there's no proof or evidence showing that they didn't. Although there is proof or evidence showing that they didn't. That's what the hell this dude reminds me of. A geek that don't know what the hell he's talking about. He thinks he's smarter than a teacher. Shout out to AO. Sounds like a broad that found condoms in her man's pants. Where they come from? Where they come from? Shout out to you, my good brother. Breeze Omega said goofy. Just straight up goofy. 100% fold. I agree with you, my good brother. Shout out to the ears that hear the truth. Thank you for your Cash App donation. Your donation is blessed tenfold, and I appreciate your contribution as always, my good sister. I hope all is well at the hospital. Let's continue.
Story about him 12 years of slavery.
Yeah, he was one of thousands, because one of the major industries during that time for poor white people, the slave patrols, was to capture free people. One thing I found in my book, again written by my family, when my family moved from North Carolina to Indiana,
put it all the way up there. We want to see it.
When they moved from Indiana to North Carolina, from North Carolina to Indiana in 1835, what they did was they moved within Amish country, and the Amish protected them because a major trade during that time was for these rednecks to go around and get captured free natives, free black folks minding their own black ass business, capturing them, and then selling them down river to slavery.
Oh, yeah, that wasn't so. Like, I agree with you. You had the transshipment, and you also had the intercontinental.
What point does that make? Let me ask you, Doc. Where did those people come from? Did he talk?
What point does that make, though?
Oh, yeah, I'm talking about Africa.
From that point.
That's what I'm saying. That point was to deflect and derail you from the real argument that we come from Africa.
So you don't forget the fact, like, okay, so I brought up a fact. That's the derail.
No. Come on, bro. Listen.
They were enslaved Africans.
No, they come from Africa.
If it doesn't start with Africa, these two idiots go to hell off. If you don't bring in anything about Africans, these two idiots try to make it seem like, but it's still African. If they were here, how could they be African? This is before the slave trade. What our brother Dewan B is explaining is before the slave trade. So if they were here before the slave trade, how are they African? If you use the out of African theory, guess what? Every goddamn body is African, including the Nabisco. So this is the disingenuousness and the gaslighting that we keep talking about. Let me give a B1 salute to our good brother Project Leroy in the building. Much love to you, my brother. Thank you for being here. Let's continue. Keyword theory, not fact. Exactly. It's not a theorem. It's a theory. Shout out to Ra L in the building. Much love to you. Thank you for being here. And thank you for this comment. Not one of them qualified to even speak. FBA been in America for millions of years. Let's continue.
Yes or no?
They weren't enslaved. Like, these
No, did they come from Africa?
Huh?
Did they come from Africa?
No, this is the fact. No, they didn't.
Right. See,
He's talking about the free. He's talking about the free. He's talking about the free blacks that would re-enslaved and recaptured.
I know their
When I was
names.
talking about,
No, where did the free blacks come from, Doc?
They were here.
No, see that? See, you double
I
talk.
don't know their names.
Yeah, he double talk.
See, he correct.
Right now. I'm trying to put
Really? Hold on.
Yeah,
We're gonna stay right. Asar, we're gonna keep them right there. We're not gonna move. I'm not moving off that point, brother. You scamming out intellectual real estate right now. You're sitting there co-signing that nonsense. You said out your mouth that Doc mentioned the intercontinental slave trade, all these words I was talking about, and we realized.
Family, y'all remember a couple of broadcasts ago, I did a broadcast on James Small, and I brought out a forum, the NCI forum. And on that forum, it speaks about, if you're talking about a cult, if you're talking about a psyop, on the forum, it shows you that number one, it wasn't number one on the forum, but I'm saying number one. Number one, one of the number one ways you can tell that something is a psyop is if they're trying to make somebody the designator teacher. That's what this dude Ankh is trying to do. Designate himself to be the teacher when you're not. You are not the teacher. Dr. Ma'at is not the teacher. Dr. Asar is not the teacher. Because FBA don't have a teacher. FBA have many teachers. And we don't go head to head with other people who are actually teaching our people. Because we're teaching the same information. Information doesn't change. The person teaching it changes. So they're just going about this and quite literally showing us verbatim that Pan-Africanism is a psyop. We could take that NCI form and apply it to this stream, and every goddamn thing that they're saying and doing is on that form. Trying to down talk people, try to ostracize, try to make themselves a designated teacher, even though they're sitting on a panel with a goddamn anthropologist. That's Dewan's B area of expertise, is anthropology. And you're sitting here trying to tell an anthropologist that he's wrong in the facts in which he brings. I could see that if it was a white man. I could see if it was a Nabisco woman. Because they tend to omit information when it comes to us. But our brother Dewan B, he don't pull no punches. And he don't sit here and omit any information. B1 salute to our brother Wild Williams in the building. Much love to you. Thank you for being here, my good brother. Let's continue.
That they was actually, I don't give a damn if they was free, not free. They come from Africa. You say, no. Can you please explain to us where the hell they come from then? And why can you go back to your argument?
You know my family, my brother, you prove it.
No, man, see, come on.
Hold on. Hold the hell up. Shout out to our good brother. You prove it. The burden of proof is on you because you're bringing that information. And as soon as Dewan said, you prove it, all of a sudden you want to sit back. Nah, ain't no nah. Unless we're saying, nah, hey, goodbye, you four-eyed motherfucker. Let's continue.
No, they can't. Look, going back to what I was saying earlier, because I know we're talking about psychological stuff and all that. Well, my background, my minor was in cultural anthropology. And in cultural anthropology, when I went to go to my professors and say something comes from something, I have to give at least 5 points of reference of evidence, physical evidence, linguistic evidence. I got to prove it. I can't just say, this is what I feel. I got to show it. And it's okay. I'm not here to argue that people didn't come from Africa at some time. I said, I don't know when. They could have came from Africa 10,000 years ago.
There's more than 5 references that can prove that they came from Africa.
Oh, you can't prove that they did.
You don't have probably real strong references that can support what you're saying.
Right. Why
you don't know? Where's your evidence? No, you're trying to take about my family. Where's your evidence?
I'm not talking about your family, bro.
We talking about
us in America.
Right, and Brother Dewan, as a cultural, you say your cultural anthropology. As for that background,
let me
ask you this. So, if that's your background, do you agree with Sincere's statement that when a people go somewhere else, that they are stripped of their identity and culture, and the slate is run the white clean?
Scientifically, when a group of people have been in a new land for more than 3 generations, they're now part of that place, and they've developed something new.
Who told you that?
Because my mind is a cultural anthropology. That's what I've studied the whole time. What I'm saying is this: I didn't question you with your psychology. Let me. So what I'm saying is this: because at the end of the day, culture is your response to your immediate environment. You develop culture to deal with your immediate environment. If you're in the jungle, you're gonna have a different culture than someone in the desert. And if you come from a jungle environment and you move to a desert environment, if you keep the jungle culture, you're not gonna survive in the desert environment.
It evolves. Culture evolves. I agree with that. But that evolving is different from wiping the slate clean.
No, I didn't say
that's different. No, you didn't say that, Brother Dewan. He said
her question.
What I was saying was when people, and I answered it by saying when people are in a new location, a new geographic place, they become that within, science says 2 generations. I like to say 3 to 4, but they say 2. So, okay, whatever. Let's spin hairs. My family, I can count at least just on paper, 18 generations in the United States of America. So when it comes to culture, the culture is something that my family went through a few different cultures here in the United States of America. And that's the most immediate culture. And that culture is in response to this environment. If I was still holding on to something from 10,000 years ago, you know what I'd be right now? Dead, because it wouldn't work for this environment. Not saying one culture is superior to the other. What I'm saying is what the Black American did during the Renaissance period 100 years ago was go through that, go back to this year's word, ethnogenesis, to develop this new culture that we have. And the evidence is this. And you can point to the
what? Ethnogenesis.
Ethnogenesis.
You don't believe that?
How you gonna tell another man what they believe? How? We don't believe you. Let's be very clear. We don't believe you. Our brother Sincere love to God. He ain't even had to say nothing. My brother's just sitting back and watching Dewan smack this bald head bastard over his head. As he should. But you can understand why our brother Sincere said, this is not what I thought this was going to be. Shout out to our sister, Mrs. Denise. She says, knowledge is power. Absolutely, and powerful. Very powerful. You said knowledge is powerful. You're absolutely correct. But I'm saying it is very, very powerful. When I used to do music, one of my albums, I said along the lines, I'm just spitballing here because it's been a while since I've even listened to that damn song. But I did speak about how knowledge is power. If you don't stand for something, you're going to fall for anything. So stand for your education so you won't fall for that bullshit. And I'm so happy. I'm so glad. I already knew it, but I'm glad to see all the people that ain't falling for their bullshit. Because that's what it is. It's bullshit. Shout out to L. Franklin. Much love to you. Thank you for being here. I'm sorry, family. Had a quick text message come in. Let's continue.
Don't tell me what I believe.
You don't.
So what
You
I was saying,
ethnogenesis.
you have Africans come, if there was whatever
This is
ties
crazy.
exist, when Africans were to come here, we would have common bonds. Let me give you an example. In Black American music, we count on the 2 and the 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's something that's indigenous to the North American continent here. In Africa, when they count 1, 2, 3, 4. Or they count on a quarter note, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. We don't even count the same when it comes to our music. We don't use the same scale. We don't use the same.
The answer is no, bro. Look, you
Can
feel
we
like
get back to the 5,000 people
no.
you talk about now?
What are you saying?
Claim don't come from Africa.
It disappear, it evolves, it mutates, whatever word you want to use.
Sorry, don't let them get off that point.
Still vestiges
No.
of the culture does not go away. But go ahead, brother. I'm just
He
saying.
made a point about some.
When I say Dr. Asar is acting as this man's hype man, you can see every time this man says something to him, this man bows down. I can't even call him a man. This dude bows down. Shout out to our sister Shalonda all day. Much love to you. I hope you feel better. Trust me, I'm not feeling too good as well. But guess what? The ancestors and the Most High is giving me the energy to be here today. So I'm going to use it 100% fold. But as I was saying, family, you can tell Lil Drewski Tunde, shout out to our sister Tampa Bay for that. Drewski Tunde over here, every time Unc says something or corrects him or pulls him to the side, tug on his coat strings, he calms down. He sits to the side. My bad, sir. You go ahead. Let's continue.
People getting some free people getting snatched up down the coast. Can you explain that again for us? Because we got you right there, and I don't want to move. What about them people that you claim wasn't coming from Africa, that we all know came from Africa? What about the free people you talked about? And it was what? And when was that?
In the 1800s in Ohio.
And what happened? What happened?
Rikers Island was literally created as a slave catching place.
For who? Native American population or the population that came from Africa that had to go here some kind of way?
For the copper-colored individuals that was here, what they would do is that's where you get scholarship. Let's go into it. In Louisiana, to show that there were already dark-skinned people here, in order to buy yourself freedom in Louisiana, if you can get yourself freedom based off the texture of your hair, because they oftentimes couldn't tell the difference because the skin tone was the same. So they would look at the hair to decide whether one belongs enslaved or not enslaved. It's all kinds of nuance that went on. Prisoners of war, the Yamasee Wars, the Mississippian Wars. You have all kinds of stuff that happened on this land that's very deep and it goes back very far. But I tell you one thing.
Who was it, brother? Who was it? Who was it? Answer quite. Look, you go.
I answered already. I said Mississippi.
Unc said earlier, and he caught it because you said some slick stuff earlier. You said the native Black Americans, right? So so you do say things in a way that kind of confuse people, throw people off. So who was it? Who were these people? That is his question, not the whole history lesson.
The copper-colored individuals.
Who are they? Who are they?
The copper-colored individuals that were discovered. There was no one thing. There were hundreds of tribes here. What are y'all talking about?
That don't got nothing to do with the African Americans, though.
It's hundreds of tribes
They
here.
don't got nothing to do with the FBA.
It got nothing to do with the FBA.
It does not. It absolutely does not. So let's change the conversation. Let's talk about the ethnogenesis.
You see, I'm gonna be honest with you, family. I couldn't sit down and have a conversation with this dude out because I end up punching him in the face. Yeah, I am not that I'm too emotional or nothing like that. You're disrespecting me. You're disrespecting my lineage. You're disrespecting my grandparents. You're disrespecting me. I just explained how my grandfather comes from a long line of Blackfoot natives. You would sit here and call my grandfather a liar in my face, and I will beat your ass for that. I'm going to keep it 100 with you. That's disrespect I will not stand for. And it isn't about being emotional or anything like that. I selectively choose when I'm going to throw these hands. And when it comes down to my family, when it comes down to my lineage, heritage, and culture, oh, I am willing tenfold to throw hands about this. You're not about to call my grandfather a liar. You're not about to call my grandmother a liar or any of my grandparents down the line. And I'm going to keep it 100 with you. And I hope you see this, Unc. You're a disrespectful ass fool. And I hope to God you never come face to face with me and say anything like this. Because I promise you, I'm going to break those glasses off into your face. That's just me. I'm not telling anybody how to feel or what to do. I'm just being honest about myself. I know myself. You're not about to disrespect my family like that. Let's continue.
Doc, can you please explain to us what ethnogenesis is, please? And I'm gonna share my screen because I'm tired of playing this wild, bring around the rosy, acting like we understand what you're saying.
But so long, I'm saying you got energy.
No, I don't got no energy for this. Not like this. And Sincere, I'm sorry. Did you want to get something off? What do you have to say? Because you think that it was black people here already. We got you on that.
But let me say this. Let me say this. There are some folks who think that, and I keep hearing dark skin, the skin color, the skin. A lot of that was happening, especially if you watch the first like 45 minutes of American Maroon. A lot of things, the dark skin. You see the skin. You see the skin. Dark skin does not equal us. Just because you see a dark skinned person, that does not mean it's you. Okay.
Family. Dr. Ma'at, like I said in the last broadcast, this is her broadcast. This is her show. But she sounded like an agent. 100% full. She sounded like a damn agent. If there were dark-skinned people here already taken into slavery and blended in, how is it not you? How is it not us? Dark-skinned people in America were enslaved. But yet you're telling the children of those enslaved individuals that it doesn't mean that they're us. That's a misnomer. That is 100% a misnomer. And it's a lie. They wasn't us before they became enslaved. No, they were different tribes. But once they were enslaved and they were interbreeded, that created who we are today. Hell, some people, their families wasn't even enslaved. So their history is undisturbed by slavery. They were just free people of color, which was another way for them to actually declassify or reclassify the indigenous American. Because free people of color aren't supposed to own guns. Native Americans could own guns. The Aboriginal could own guns. And when the white folks saw that, they were like, yeah, guess what? You guys are no longer indigenous. You guys are free people of color. Let me get those guns up off of you. So what they're doing is gaslighting and being totally disingenuous. Family, let me give a B1 salute to Drayton. Thank you for being here. Much love to you. Like I said, these people think we're stupid, as well as our good sister, Donna C in the building. Much love to you, my sister. Thank you for being here. These folks think we're stupid, and so they believe they can just tell us anything and say anything, and we won't know our history. We won't know what actually was implemented to us. Shout out to our sister. She said, I hate these narrow-minded conversations. You and me both. You and me both. Trust me when I say, I hate narrow-minded people fixing their ways. And I'm a goddamn Taurus. That the fixed sign of them all. And I can't stand a person fixed in their ways. Shout out to our sister Shelly in the building. Much love to you, my good sister. Thank you for being here as well. Let's continue.
It doesn't mean that it's you and your people. We gotta move beyond skin color, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you got people that may share the same skin color as you, but they're not your kinfolk. You know, and so I just
isn't that the same argument that we've been making about Africans? Now you're trying to use the argument that we've been making about Africans on us. All skin folk ain't kinfolk. But y'all trying to force us to be African. Make that make sense. Somebody please make that make sense. My sister Aquarius said, God dang it. Now come on, Dr. Ma'at. Exactly. Exactly. Hypocritical to the core. Hypocritical to the core. Put the fish on the hook. Shout out to you, my sister Black Spider. I love that. Let's continue.
Want to put that out there because we see somebody brown skin. Oh, that's us. We see somebody with woolly hair. That's us. No, it may not be you. Like
I agree with that, but the way the system was set up here in the U.S., they were going off of skin color. That's why the Pleckert dude was taking people from native tribes and reclassifying them as Negro.
That's not what we're talking about, man. We're not talking about that.
I'm not talking about that.
And they use that.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that.
But that was happening though, right?
Of course, they do whatever they want to do.
That was happening based off of skin color. So
yes.
what they were saying is, you look like them niggas over there. You get over there. You belong with them niggas over there. And then we all got amalgamated into this new group that we're calling Foundational Black Americans.
Yeah, that's the
ethnogenesis. But I still wanted to respond to Dr. Ma'at, the critique that you gave me earlier about the wiping the slate clean and all of that stuff, because there's nuance to that. Because I somewhat agree with you, but again, I believe that we have retained some of our African culturalisms here,
or ancestral culture, whatever that is. Like the one said, some people, his family.
There's always going to be some retention there, yes. But what I'm saying is, like what the Juan B was just explaining, is, and what you kind of agreed with, is that your culture is not static. Your culture is not static. So we built a new culture here based on our environment, based on our circumstances, what we had to deal with in order to survive and thrive. Not just to survive, but to thrive. Because we became a cultural superpower on the planet.
Absolutely.
If you really look at it.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? We don't just have a unique culture. We have the most influential culture on the planet.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. But when you said wipe the slate clean, that's when I looked at the clip.
It's not totally clean.
I looked at the clip like,
and he said,
but my point was to say that it's not just, your culture is not just static. It don't just stay the same forever, no matter what.
Africa for the rest of your life.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying we function like we're not continental Africans. Yeah, I would never say that.
But what I will say is, to answer the question that I was asking earlier, I did hear you say most of us didn't come from there.
Right.
Yes, I did hear you say that too. And then also saying that, why are we talking about all this? Why? Let me finish. Why are we talking about this? The reason why we're talking about this is the very reason I articulated earlier. Because all this stuff, all this mess, this mishmash, and the one that said is mishmash and it's unclear. I'm glad he says that. He's being very accurate, that no one knows really. He's trying to mix it all up and all that type of thing. But all of this is being stated to support that we have to disconnect us from Africa to some degree or greater degree. All this stuff are talking points to separate us. It is mind control and it is psychological warfare to disconnect us from our African roots.
Not true.
Well,
I just don't like being called a cotter. That's all.
This is the psychosocial.
Yeah, we get. Can you share my screen, please, man? Because I'm the only one showing any kind of reality, man. Let's get to the reality. It's right here. It's 3 pillars of what y'all talking about. Y'all firmly agree to this. It says Foundational Black Americans, right? Represents 3 groups who make up an ethnic group that will become Foundational Black Americans. 1, the Black Aboriginal people of North America. Y'all clearly will agree to that. to the black explorers and traders who had contact with the Americans before Columbus. Y'all believe in that? Y'all mad about this part. The captives brought to the Western Hemisphere. Do y'all agree with these 3 pillars, yes or no? I'm just asking a question, bro. Yes, thank you. How about you, Dewan? Do you agree with that?
I literally said some of us came from Africa.
I'm saying, no, do you agree with that, Dewan? Dewan.
Shout out to our sister Reese in the building. Much love to you, and thank you for being here today. This is another reason why I don't believe we come from Africa, because they be pushing so hard to make us feel like we really came from Africa. I agree with you, my sister. And here's another thing. When did the rhetoric of us being African come into play? Because we know in historical situations, in the historical view, we wasn't calling ourselves Africans whatsoever. As a matter of fact, we were against people calling us African. And if you want to talk about just the out of Africa theory, then everybody is African. The brass task of it all is that everybody is African. That does not stop us from having an identity of our very own. In the very same way that the Fijians have the identity of their very own. In the very same way that the goddamn every Jamaican, every goddamn Caribbean, they have an identity of their very own. Y'all are not trying to push Africa on them. Y'all not trying to push Africa on the Nabisco. Y'all not pushing Africa on the Asians, even though the first Asians were actually continental Africans. Y'all try to push it on us because you have something to gain by us calling ourselves Africans. Shout out to our sister Ramisha Rice in the building. Much love to you. Thank you for being here. Hey, church, he's dumb. Much love to you. Thank you for your contribution. Your contribution is blessed tenfold, and I appreciate it as always, my good sister. He's dumb. Dumb, 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 dumb. Y'all remember those Tum commercials where it goes dun, 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 dun? This is what he is. He's dumb, 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 dumb. Dumb, 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 dumb. Much love to you, my good sister. Thank you for your contribution. Shout out to Beloved Thompson in the building. Much love to you. Thank you for being here, my good brother and sister. Much love to you. Let's continue.
You agree with? Okay, I'm telling you that is a pseudo-scientific history. That is not the ethnogenesis.
All right, let's get into what he said is pseudoscience. Represents the 3 stars, represents the 3 groups who make up the ethnic group, that would become foundational Black Americans. The Black Aboriginal, the Black explorers and traders who had contact with the Americas before Columbus, and the captives brought to the Western Hemisphere from Africa. That's right and exact. That is right and exact. So he going off talking about, oh, that's pseudoscience. Prove that. Just pulling up something and saying it's wrong and then calling it pseudoscience doesn't prove that it's pseudoscience. We have firsthand accounts from the Spaniards who traveled before anybody left Europe. The Spaniards were the one who traveled. When they got over here, the Spaniard said these folks look African. I don't even believe they said they look Indian, because if you really look into the history of India, the word India, Indian, didn't come about until the late 1940s, 1950s. But that's neither here nor there. When I say the first-hand accounts all say the same damn thing, you would have to prove to me that those first-hand accounts were wrong. And you can't do that. Why? Because you wasn't there. It'd be a whole nother situation if you were actually there and you can say, hey, I saw the people with my own eyes. But they're trying to make you believe that it's factually incorrect. When Dr. Ma'at just sat here and said, just because they look like you don't mean they're us, which means that they're indigenous black people here before the slave ships got here. And she has books written on this. So what is your book about? And granted, I haven't read the book. Maybe I should purchase it. Maybe I should read it so I can see who she believed the Aboriginals were. Because if it wasn't us, then who? But let's continue.
Of African Americans or foundational African Americans.
This happened in the 1920s.
No. I'm telling you that there is no such thing as an ethnogenesis between the black Aboriginal people of North America, the black explorers and traders who had contact with the Americans before Columbus, right? And captives brought to Western Hemisphere.
That's not true. 200-year gap,
brother. That's not true. Let me finish my point. Bro. My point is this. Hold on for a minute. Ethnogenesis of African Americans, right, comes from a forced migration from Western Central Africans enslaved in the United States.
I'm glad DeWine's laughing at this dude, because that's exactly what he is. He's a clown. He should be laughed at. Shout out to us. She said the Caribbeans were called the West Indies. No pushback whatsoever. Nobody says nothing about that. Nobody says nothing about that. Shout out to our sister Stacy in the building. Much love to you, my sister. It's all right. We all here. We all here together, baby. We all here together. Exactly, my sister. He's a joke. And if you don't laugh at him, then God dang it, you're not one to be amused. Shout out to Reese. I can't believe he's an educator. I really can't believe this. You and me both. But also, I do believe he's an educator because of the fact that they use people such as himself to misinform the Negro. Oh, yeah, the miseducation of the Negro is still going on today. And they use people such as himself to do so. While I can't believe it, I definitely can believe it as well. Florida was called the West Indies too. Facts. Absolutely. That's another good point. Florida was called a part of the, they said Florida was a part of the West Indies. Ain't nowhere near the Caribbean. Well, I mean, you know, it's not in the Caribbean itself. It's over here in America on the other side of the water, and they over here talking about it's the West Indies. Swizzle, you ain't right for this. He said he teach at Umar's Johnson School. The one that don't exist. Shout out to my brother. He's an imaginary teacher. Okay, let's go with that. He's teaching at an imaginary school. Let's continue. Shout out to our sister Aquarius, as always, my good sister. Yep, I read that book in high school. These ninjas are miseducated. When you know better, you do better. Absolutely, my good sister. Absolutely. My sister Black Spider said the old switcheroo. The old switcheroo. Act black and hide your white tea wife. Exactly. Exactly. If he's teaching in Baltimore City schools, I can believe it. Probably teaching at the old Herring Run, Thurgood Marshall Round, Monrovia Road. Yeah, I to be honest with you, Baltimore, out of any other place, I would say they tend to have a lot of folks miseducating people. Baltimore specifically. That's why whenever I meet somebody from Baltimore that really knows their history, I salute them, because B-more is a place where they will send in a lot of uneducated Negroes in order to teach you how to be uneducated. Oh, we got some B-more finest in the building. Our brother AO is from B-more. And our sister Aquarius is from B-more. So y'all know I'm not lying. You know I am not lying. Shout out to only us. 4 eyes not even thinking. It's a possibility that we are indigenous or mixed with indigenous people in culture. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Let's continue.
Cultural construction under extreme oppression. Dream flow from Europeans and Native Americans. Post-Civil War consolidation of shared identity. Okay? That's where I'm at with it. This is the scientific overview of what the ethnogenesis is. And if y'all follow that, y'all are promoting misinformation and bad information. So hold on. You've already stated your position. Both y'all agree with that. That is I'm not conflating anything. I am telling you that this is my contention. Plain and simple, bro. Bad enough, you anti-scientific information. Bad enough, you anti-vaccine. Both of y'all, anti-scientific literature. And this is the craziest thing to me. The whole FBA crew be anti-vaccine. Why? It's in a Hidden Colors movie.
So you can't be anti-vaccine if you did your research on the vaccine? My Instagram page is shadow banned to this very day. Why? Because I was putting out information about the vaccine from the CDC. From the CDC. The gain of function research, as we see it now, has been detrimental. And it's all because it was in Hidden Colors. Yeah. Let's be very clear about this. I'm anti-vaccine depending on what you're talking about. If you're talking about the flu vaccination, I'm fine with that. Why? Because, many people have taken the flu vaccination, even though some people have been unalived by the flu vaccination. Usually it's because of the fact that they had prior situations. But all the flu vaccination is a piece of that disease, the flu, put inside of you in order to build an immunity. when you talk about the vaccines for school, I'm not so much for those vaccines. Why? Because some of those vaccines are responsible for autism. The vaccine for the COVID, I wasn't for that either, because all the predominant doctors who was coming out saying, hey, this is dangerous, you shouldn't be using this vaccination, they were silenced in the very same way that I was silenced. And all they were doing was using the science. So, when we talk about vaccines, I tell everybody the same damn thing. Do not believe me. Please go do your own research and make a decision that's informed. That's all you should be doing as anybody talking to somebody else about a medical procedure, because a vaccination is still a medical procedure. But let these folks tell it, it's because it was in Hidden Colors. I've seen all the Hidden Colors, every one of them. And Hidden Colors was not a de facto reason for me not taking the vaccination. Really, after elementary school, I haven't been vaccinated for nothing. I have the type of genes where I rarely get sick. When I get sick, I get sick. Like today, when I said I'm not feeling well, that's the difference. That is very different from me being sick. Me feeling not well is because of the fact that I'm in Houston. So Texas weather switches up so damn much. It's ridiculous. And that itself is messing with my blood cells. But when I get sick, family, I am one of those type of dudes that will call for my mama when I get sick. That's how painful it is. Mommy, I need you. Oh, Mom. I don't care where I am. I'd be in California. I could be miles away from her, and she can't do nothing. But I will sit there and be like, Mama, oh, Mama. Let's be very clear. I want to make sure I'm very clear on that. But when it's outside of that, not Jody, yes, I turned straight Jody. Right then, and when Tyrese was singing that damn song, I kind of felt like he was taking shots at me. I know sometimes it may be crazy, but I'll always be here for you, lady. Baby, I'm just trying to play the game. So let me work the thing. Let me do my thing. And what is that? Young, dumb, and full of cum. Little crazy ass brother, homie. Where you from? You dig what I'm saying? Like, and shout out to my watch brother Tyrese, even though he said some coonish things. He is still from the town. But still, my point. My mama knows if I'm very sick, I'm getting a call from this Negro. That's just what happens. But that's only because I rarely get sick. I don't take vaccinations. I haven't taken any vaccinations, like I said, since I was in elementary school. While everybody was running around here with a goddamn face mask on, talking about COVID, staying in the house, I was in those streets. Why? Because my immune system calls for it. I need to be out there, and I need to make sure that whatever this is, I can fight through it. Ask me if I've ever had COVID, family. The answer to that is no. My mother used to call me the carrier because I can sleep in the house, and I've done this several times, spent the night at one of my cousin's house. Everybody in the house has the flu, and I will not catch it. But then I'll go home, and everybody in the house will catch the flu for me, even though I didn't catch it. I say all that to say this. When it comes down to situations such as vaccinations and procedures, medical procedures, I tell everybody the same damn thing. Make sure you're informed before you make a decision. I never tell them to go and do it. I never tell them not to do it. I always say the same damn thing. So for this man to be sitting here acting like that is a end all be all, sir, you are not a doctor. And even though Dr. Ma'at and Dr. Asar has doctor in front of their names, they are not medical physicians. So none of you have the expert to talk to me, especially about no damn vaccine. My brother's a doctor, and I had to give him my expertise in order for him to understand why we don't go around forcing people to have medical procedures. Shout out to our brother Black RU. Ask questions and do your own research. Yes, yes, yes. That's it. That's all. And I see I didn't had a few people leave here, so they might not like what I'm saying. But I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not going to sit here and pull no damn fucking punches, especially when it comes down to medical procedures. You should know your fucking rights, and you should know that nobody can force you to do anything when it comes to a medical procedure. And if you don't like me saying that, then get the fuck on. When I said I wanted to go to law school to protect my people, that includes me telling people that you can't be forced to do something just because the Nabisco said it needs to be done. I love my people to the bottom of my damn heart. And I'll lose a few subscribers here and there by telling my folks the truth. I have no problem doing that. That just means you wasn't meant to be here in the first damn place. Now, to all the writers that are still here, let's continue. Shall we? Shout out to Fresh from Fresh from a Nap. Shout out to you. I love that name. Fresh from a Nap. As a Taurian, trust me, I love my naps. I love a nap. Let's continue.
The whole Hidden Color movie is anti-vaccine, which is anti-black people. Right? And if you don't care about the health of black people, then you don't care about black people.
Shout out to Dewan for asking that question. What the hell does that have to do with me? If somebody don't want to go get vaccinated, that is their damn business. That is their damn business. You want to go around wagging your finger at people who decided not to take the vaccination when we saw multitudes of people just check out after they got the vaccine. Most of you don't even understand what the hell gain of function research is, but that's where the vaccine came from. That's where your COVID came from too. Gain of function research. Obama sent in the lab in Wuhan $3 million to study bats. Oh, if you don't believe me, look that up, family. Let's continue. Shout out to our brother Legit Hustle in the building. Much love to you, as well as Noah Randall. Thank you for being here, family. Much love to you as well. Let's continue. Oh, I know, Miss Niecy. God dang it. I know you were right, and you're going to be here. Trust me when I say I know, my sister. As a writer, I look up to you to be as much as a writer as you are. Let's just be 100. You dig me? Let's continue.
Look, let me make something very clear.
Yeah, I know you ran from that. I didn't do nothing but
doing communication. What you just did, you just have one of the that was very most of your fallacies are good. That one was horrible because you just took the 1600s and said this happened in the 1600s. This is what they did, and we're talking about ethnogenesis that happened in the 1920s with the various Renaissance periods around the United States of America.
What?
Let me explain. When the second Great Migration after slavery, there are two Great Migrations after slavery. The first was from rural plantations to the big cities in the South, New Orleans.
Shout out to Dewan, and I'm gonna let him finish, but I just want to say this. I want us to really stop using Great Migration because we're not migrating in our own country. Let's be very clear. I want us to get very comfortable with using the term the Great Expansion because that's what we did. We expanded throughout the Americas, which we had a right to do because we built America from the top to the bottom, from the left to the right. There would be no America without us. So I really don't like when people use that term, the Great Migration, because we are migrants. We expanded. Let's continue.
Birmingham, Memphis, those cities. The second Great Migration was when those people in the 1920s after World War I moved to the north. And when those people from the South moved to the north, when the Delta brought its blues to Chicago, when the Delta brought its jazz to Kansas City, and then in Newark.
You just couldn't let me let this play, could you? FBA's trying to rewrite history. It's called the Great Migration. Stop trying to rename everything. Y'all tripping. No. How do you migrate to a country you built? How do you migrate to a country you built? Don't worry, I'll wait because I don't think that you're intelligent enough to even speak to me on this topic. You got that Pan-African scam African flag in the background, so I know you ain't too intelligent when it comes down to this situation because you want to make everybody comparable to a migrant. That's your goal. We're not migrants. We're the great expanders. We're the great builders. We're the people that built the country that everybody migrates to. We have a problem with history, huh? Well, I tell you what. Show me your degree in history. Show me your degree in anthropology. I tell you what, I will drop the link specifically for you. And I want you to come on up here and talk to me and tell me how we got a problem with history. Tell me, show me your anthropology degree. Show me your historian degree. Show me anything that tells me that you know anything about history in general. Or shut the hell up and sit the hell down. And you have 2 minutes to get your ass up here. Family, put the clock on. And I'm going to keep you on this screen so I remember your damn name in case I need to go back and delete your ass. In the words of our good sister, hit that link and educate us. Mister, we have a problem with history. Oh, no, you definitely on the clock. You definitely on the clock. Bring your ass on down. You got 2 minutes. Stand on what you said. Because unlike a lot of people you thought you control, I'm not one of those type of people that don't know the history here in America. I'm going to call your ass out for your stupidity. And what you said was stupid. Because you haven't offered anything to show that we're comparable to a migrant. We've never left our country. We built it and then expanded upon all the shores, which is our right to do. So bring your ass on up here. Shout out and salute to our brother. Sincere love to God and much love to you, my good brother. Thank you for being here. And my brother, I'm trying to tell you, you have a lot more patience than me, especially after listening to this several times. This is like, this is the 3rd time of me listening to this damn broadcast. So shout out to you, my good brother. Hopefully we can get you for the next one, because I'm going to do a part 3 to this, to your response video when Unc got up there and tried to talk that Fugazi babble. We might as well just call it what it is, the Pan-African babble to you. And you just had to drop them down. Much love to you, my brother. Much love to you. And if you guys are not following our brother Sincere Love to God, y'all make sure y'all do so. All right. Your 2 minutes is up. And you're out of here. You're in the gulag, as our brother KG would say. Let's continue.
Then to New York, then Cincinnati. What happened was during that time, LA, Detroit, Chicago, St. Louis, Kansas City, and everywhere black people lived, we came into this new environment. We're no longer in rural life. We're no longer in the Delta. We're no longer in our plantations. We're now in the city. During that time between post-World War I and the end of World War II, there was an ethnogenesis, and you can check that because there was a term called the New Black in the 1920s. How do I know that? My great-great-granduncle, Adelbert Roberts, was the first black senator in Illinois state history, elected in 1924, in July 1924, and he ran against Ida B. Wells and beat her in 1928. During that time, black people in those cities got a new identity, a new music, a new way of dress. In the same way what happened between hip-hop and funk, the young generation was like, we not what that old stuff you was doing, because before that time, there was division amongst us between mulattoes, Melungeons, people who were slaves, farmers.
Shout out to you, my good brother, and I can respect that. I totally 100% respect that. Trust me. Sometimes you just got to let the clowns be clowns while you continue to crack that whip like the ringleader is supposed to do. We're not running a circus, but if we was in the circus, we would be the ringleaders and not the clowns of it. So much love to you, my brother. If you want to be done with this, I understand 100% for my brother. Let's continue.
During that time, when black people got to the big cities, we realized, damn, whether I'm a farmer, plumber, mulatto, Melungeon, they still treat us all as black. So during that 20, 30-year period, we redefined ourselves. That is 200 years after Africa. Do you get it now?
Right.
I'm telling you, creolization started. Early creolization started the 1619 to the 1700s, but we can go down the whole time. Now you playing with me. I don't even know why you playing.
No Genesis is specific.
Man, listen, man, you playing right now.
Let him rock out.
Dewan,
Let him rock out, brother Dewan.
You playing with us from the 16 to 19, from 1619 to the 1700s. Early creolization occurred. The breakdown of African ethnic distinctions from the 17 to 1800s. The majority of U.S. born population formation of shared culture and identity. From the 1800s to 1865, rapid cultural linguistics consolidation emerged of the core African American institutions. From 1865 to 1900, post-slavery nations building, African Americans became coherent national ethnic group. I am telling you, from the day that we stepped foot on the daggone landmass and started having sex with other people, that started the creolization process.
Dewan,
if you play this wild game with me, Dewan, you play with me. Don't play with me like this, bro. We still be having an intelligent conversation, but yet you keep flim-flamming me, man. You telling me right now. I'm not even trying to. I know don't got.
I know this man didn't just say he was trying to have an intelligent conversation when throughout this whole goddamn broadcast that they did, this dude was the clown of the whole circus. He was quite literally the person who was literally being the disruptor. every time my brother Sincere and our brother Dewan and Dr. Ma'at kind of got on the same page, here he comes disrupting, being an agent of chaos. So you can't sit here and tell me you was trying to have an honest conversation about something when you're sitting here being the disruptor within the conversation. That makes no damn sense to me. And then you had your lackey, Dr. Asar, who only would be quiet when you asked him to be quiet and only agreed with you tenfold. This wasn't about having an honest conversation, or you would not be acting in the manner that you're acting. Someone who acts in the manner that you're acting, that's somebody who's on purpose, who is purposely trying to make sure the conversation is derailed. I've dealt with many of people like this who don't have nothing real to contribute to the conversation, so they play the class clown. That's what I get from this. It's the class clownery. You're upset that somebody of intelligence actually is bringing some scholarship to you, and you can't combat it. And so what you do is you start clowning around because you don't want other people to think that you yourself is stupid. But you being the class clown shows your stupidity. At least in this subject. You might be an intelligent man in math. You might be an intelligent man in English. History isn't your forte.
Did you think you're Black Indian or somebody?
Yeah, he's accurate on that. From the day we stepped forward, yeah, it's crazy. It's been happening hundreds and hundreds of years.
Yeah,
not just during the early 1900s.
No. When I get asked questions, I want to be specific because time and place matters. When we talk about the ethnogenesis, where we all came together, because before that, you're right. You had some Africans here. You had some enslaved. You had some that weren't enslaved. You had some that was described as octoroons. Some that was described as Melungeons, mulattoes, and all these different things. All that's true. In the 1800s, what we're saying is in the 1900s, 1920s on, all those different groups of Black people, when they moved to urban environments, when they moved to the cities, they had a rebirth. That's why it's called a Renaissance. They talk about the Harlem Renaissance, but the Renaissance happened in every major city that Black people live. Like my dad said,
the Indians at Harlem, then, yo.
Central Avenue had just as much jazz as the Cotton Club over in New York. What's going on in Cincinnati, what was going on in Detroit, Chicago. Black people in this new environment had to re-look at how we dealt with our current environment and learn that we had.
Again, what's the point, though? Look, bro. What is the point? See, this is what I'm saying. You're fighting, even though you might not admit it, you're fighting in all ways not to be African. That's all it boils down to be. This is all it is. I didn't zoned out. Your whole argument is that you're not African.
I hear him.
I wonder if Ankh and this Dr. Asar character go to the Nabiscos and tell them, hey, you're not white, you're African. I doubt it. I wonder if they go to the Asian and say, hey, you're not Asian, you're African. I doubt that too. You don't talk about people who don't want to be African unless you're talking about us. That is a con game. Because everybody's African if you believe the out of Africa theory. And if you believe the out of Africa theory, then you must believe the continental drift theory. That we were all one big landmass at one point in time. And if you believe the out of Africa theory and you believe the continental drift theory, then you would have to say that Africans were all over the globe regardless. And when you go somewhere and you become a new people by being there for hundreds upon thousands upon whatever amount of years, you have every right not to call yourself African. So acting as if indigenous people here came from Africa And you can't say that they're indigenous to this land because they came from Africa. You can't call anybody indigenous around the globe. You see how that works, family? If you can't sit here and say this about everybody, then you can't sit here and say that about us. If we're not indigenous to the land because we came from Africa, then nobody's indigenous to no land because everybody came from Africa. You see how that works? But they will never say those type of things because they want one group of people to be fixated on Pan-Africanism, and that's us. The only group that's ever been, that has ever put Pan-Africanism on our backs around the globe. They want us to stay in the same damn place. And that's why I put up our brother's comment, Claude Neely Fuller, Claude Neely Francis Amos, excuse me. Anything that works every time is a code. Example, fire code, electrical code. Why keep doing something that doesn't work? Neely Fuller Jr. Shout out to Neely Fuller Jr. If it can't be applied universally, then you cannot apply it to us. Shout out to Kim at TV. Dewan B got his. Let me tell you something. His illiterate ass will whoop the floor with you. Wipe the goddamn floor. Just like he wiped the floor right here with Ankh. And that's why you're mad. He ain't too illiterate. He has a degree in anthropology. Don't he? Nobody else on the panel has a degree in anthropology that I know of. So while you calling somebody illiterate, and overweight and all this other stuff, Dewan will tell you himself he's a fat motherfucker. I love our brother because he will sit there and he would clown on himself. Shout out to him. But what you're not going to do is call our good brother an incel and lie and say he was embarrassed. No. If anybody was embarrassed, you could tell that Ankh was embarrassed because he had to go to our brother Sincere Loves to God show, and he tried to come in and then clarify himself and go further into his buffoonery. Now, you have a seat there, buddy. As a matter of fact, let me go ahead and take you down. You make any more off-code comments, and I'm going to have the mods get you up out of here. Let's be very clear about that. I don't play around when it comes to our thought leaders, our people, our brothers who's fighting for our lineage and things like that. Yeah, we don't play around with that. You could disagree with Dewan, but you're not going to sit here and disrespect them. Let's be very clear about that. Exactly, my sister. Hate on, hater. Hate the hell on. I don't know how you call somebody illiterate when, goddamn it, they got a full goddamn degree. A full degree. Let's continue, family.
If you don't want to say it, you flim-flamming. No. The whole argument is that not only are you not African, and that most of us in America is not African. It's the same thing that my dear brother Sincere said, that he said he didn't say earlier, but he said it on the very video that Unc put out there. What I'm saying is, y'all act like y'all want to know where these points came from that was talking about, but Unc put the footage in both of you said it.
He did.
I don't want to be African. Don't get you got Africa on your arm. You didn't get another tattoo to put over top of it yet. You don't want to be African. And I heard Africa.
Now you got this Drewski Tunde dude, Dr. Hassar, getting hyper emotional. He's trying to match the energy of this Ankh guy. Did you guys notice that? He's trying to match whatever energy that the Ankh guy brings. He's feeling left out, so he started screaming out of nowhere. He has a Dr. Umar starter kit. Oh, damn. Oh, damn. Not the Prince of Pancakes. He got that Prince of Pancakes starter kit. I am too amused. Shout out to you, my good brother, the Prince of Pancake energy. Let's continue.
Come on your show. You know that slick talk. But look, I understand psychological warfare. He put out his degree, all our little degrees. I can put out all these little degrees first. No. You I've seen your show. Your show. You always talk about that degree. Cultural anthropology. I didn't mention the degree. I mentioned my background.
Man, ain't putting no cultural. Hold. Hey, Dewan, you didn't show us nothing with cultural anthropology, bro. You didn't. I know you stand.
My minors in cultural
anthropology. I don't believe you because you wouldn't do this.
Man, you just don't want to be African. Just say it.
I want to hear from PC. I want to say what
all these ideologies. Is it by happenstance that both y'all believe that people ideology?
Let me ask this question, family, and I want you guys to put it in the chat and let me know. Why is it so important for these people to make us Africans? If you're so under the impression that we all came from Africa, there are a bunch of people who believe the same thing. Why don't you go to them? Why are you sitting here trying to force an identity onto us, but yet you tell us that Africans have the right to, quote unquote, self-determination? So are you saying that everybody has the right to self-determination except for the foundational Black American? And if you're saying that we could just go around naming each other, does that mean that I can go over to Africa and call them a bunch of, your ethnicity is no longer African? Or whatever tribe you claim to be, your new ethnicity is dumb shits. Now, I'm not saying everybody over in Africa is dumb as shit or nothing like that. I'm just making a point. Nobody would accept that. Why should we accept it? Our sister Shalonda said, I need to know the same answer. Hey, this is a question that needs to be answered. Our sister Starte Jones said, because their bag depends on it. And I can agree with that. Most of the people that try to force us to be generic Africans have some sort of land over there. They have a business over there. They're working with certain people over there. I can agree with that. But you're not about to gaslight us in order to get $1 off of us. That's not going to work. Our brother AL said he's probably sponsoring refugees or work with the nonprofit dealing with them. That's another good point. That's another good point. That makes their argument so disingenuous. Absolutely. My sister Hurricane Nisi says self-serving interests. Exactly. How does it serve us to be African, to be honest with you? If those people don't look at us as African, why the hell would we look at ourselves as African? They will come here and tell you to your face, we are not the same. But then turn right around when it benefits them to say we are all brothers. How are we all brothers if we're not the same? Just a question. I'm asking for a friend. Shout out to the prototype in the building. Much love to you. Thank you for being here, family. Let's continue.
That I'm talking about. Is it by happenstance that both of you believe that most people here that look like us did not come from Africa? Is that a part of the Tariq Nasheedian ideology?
Asar, are you under the impression that somebody is afraid of you?
Right. No, I don't. No.
That is a fantastic question. Shout out to our brother Sincere for that. Are you under the assumption that somebody's afraid of you? The truth of the matter is, who has to lie? You lie when you're afraid of somebody, or you're afraid of the consequences of your actions. Ain't nobody running around here telling lies except for you guys. You made this about Tariq Nasheed. This is supposed to be an honest conversation. And everything switched over to trying to debunk and defunct foundational Black Americans. But let's continue.
Because the reason why I asked that is because people only lie when they're afraid of somebody. They're afraid of somebody.
No. Let me tell you what you're afraid of, though. Let me tell you what you're afraid of. You're afraid of Caribbeans. You're afraid of them coming to take the stuff that you'll never get the way you're trying to get it. You're afraid they're going to take your reparations. You're afraid of Africans, Caribbeans, all Africans that are not from the United States. The one you look good, brother.
You already got Dr. Saul.
I don't care if you're scared of me, but I'm not really scared of me. That's no reason. I love you, brother. I love my brothers. You are us.
I can call TDJ.
Please listen.
My brother Sincere said, I'm too laid back for this. I feel you 100-fold, brother. I feel you 100-fold. He got real sassy real quick. I didn't expect him to be the sassiest out of all of them. I thought Ankh was going to be the sassiest one. You know, the more this goes on, you know, the sassy dude there, it's turning out to be Ankh. It's turning out to be Dr. Asar. Let me give a B1 salute to our brother Project Leroy. Not with the dual belts in the picture with the Booker T. Shout out to you, my good brother. He's auditioning for the Burger King Kofi mascot. Shout out to you, family. Oh, Jesus. He said, damn it, if you need a mascot, here I am. In full Dr. Dr. Umar garb. In full Dr. Umar garb. Shout out to the prototype. Thank you for your super sticker. Your donation is blessed tenfold, and I appreciate your contribution as always, family. Oh, geez. Oh, man, that was good. Let's go.
Psychological tricks.
I know what you want, Asar. I know what you want. I know what you want. I just found out.
Y'all got the good doctor upset now.
You are just dying for Tariq Nasheed to make a cartoon out of you. You would be a good cartoon.
It doesn't matter. He can make me famous. Make me famous. Make me famous.
Put him on the cartoon, Tariq. Don't cartoon, my man.
That is your leader. That is your leader.
He just green lighted for the cartoon, Dewan. You ain't right about that, Sincere. Hey, yo, they gonna have you in the cartoon looking, wow, you know, you're good at that.
Oh my,
hey, Tariq, hey, man, don't put me on the cartoon.
Tariq Nasheed to make a name out of me. And I'm supposed to take him and you serious.
Can't nobody take you serious at this time. Shout out to our brother Christopher Lee all day. Much love, our brother Christopher Ellis. He says, thank you for your super chat. Your donation is blessed tenfold. I appreciate your contribution as always, my good brother. He says, I came in late, but I came in the middle of Drewski Tunde's Petri African rat. We'll catch this on the replay. No problem, my good brother. Oh, geez. Oh, geez. That Drewski Tunde, I don't care. Shout out to our sister Tampa Bay for that, because that was a great name for this man. That's exactly who I see. A Drewski Tunde, Dr. Umar disciple. Let's continue.
And I ain't fooling.
Guess what? But Sincere, I still think you sincere. Honestly, I'm be honest with you. I still think you sincere. But
I hear you. Let that man talk. Yo, get that man. We're gonna hear you. Go ahead, Sincere.
Look, the title of this broadcast.
All right, go. Let's get to it.
The title of this broadcast here says FBA response to Dr. Ma'at's interview with Professor James Small. We have not done that at all.
Let's do that for the last 10 minutes. We're going to do 10 minutes.
This whole conversation This is exactly what I didn't want to happen at all. Like this whole back and forth about what you think about Pan-Africanism and FBA and all that. People could be whatever they want to be and think whatever they want to think. It's fine. I don't go around attacking people's channels that make Pan-African content. If that's what you want to do, that's fine. I don't make content trying to dispute what you're saying or none of that. You know what I'm saying? If you think something is a dirty glass, just put a clean glass next to it. That's all you got to do.
Now, Sincere, you do say, Sincere, you do.
Let me give a shout out to our brother Sincere once again for that, because yeah, you're absolutely correct, my good brother. None of us go around trashing on Pan-African channels or nothing like that. We really don't care. And we understand that some FBAs are still Pan-African, and they have that right to be. We give them the right to exist. They try to take away ours. That's the real issue here. We're not running around telling people you can't be Pan-African. But they're trying to run around and tell us that we're not FBA. We don't know what we're talking about. We don't know our history. You want to disrespect my grandparents while sitting there trying to oblige oral traditions of an African when my grandparents is more documented than that African is. So you're more willing to sit here and listen to the African tell their village horror stories. But when I tell you what's been passed down through my bloodline, you want to sit here and make it seem like my ancestors was lying to me. The disrespect is real. Shout out to our sister Shalonda. She says, they really don't like Tariq, but why? Because they believe Tariq is responsible for the delineation movement. And he's not. They don't talk about Dr. Claude Anderson like this. The people that are responsible for the delineation is us. Why? We saw the disrespect in real time. Yeah, back in the day, we used to hear about the disrespect, but we gave them the benefit of the doubt. This new era, we was able to see it with our own damn eyes. And we all, as logical people, said the same damn thing collectively without even having to have a meeting. We didn't have no sit down. We didn't have everybody come all across America to one location. Foundational Black Americans come to one location and say, you know what? We got to delineate. No. We as individuals saw the disrespect and we say, you know what? I'm not taking this disrespect. So Tariq has nothing to do with delineation. And the reason why the delineation is such a problem is because they're losing money because of the delineation. That's the facts. The more we become just overly proud of what our ancestors did here, we don't want to travel to Africa. We don't want to go on those African tours they used to make their money off of. We don't want to buy no books about Africa. We want to travel the United States of America. We want to see the mounds that our ancestors built. We want to learn more history about our ancestors here. And that's the great thing about delineation. It has forced us to really stop looking everywhere else when our blood goes to the soil here. When our ancestors sacrificed and fought here for us to have everything that we have. So at the end of the day, their pockets are looking a lot lighter. The money is delineating from their pockets. This is why they have a hard on for Tariq Nasheed. This is why they hate him in every bit of their being. And I'm not saying all Pan-Africans hate Tariq Nasheed, but 9 times out of 10, if you do, for the most part, 9 times out of 10, you're Pan-African. And I said this several times over. Hating a man that you've never even met is very sassy to me. It is very weird. Now, Dr. Ma'at, she's a lot different from these two. She done been in several of the Hidden Colors. She has the right to feel the way she feels at any extent because she actually knows Tariq. She has the right to have an opinion on him. She has the right to do so. But these two, you're just showing that you're envious. That's what it really is. You're envious. You're envious about his success. You're envious about the fact that many people listen to him. It's envy. You feel you should have it. It's not even jealousy. You're not even mad that he has it. You just feel that you should have it. Shout out to Claude Neely, Francis Amos. Thank you for your super chat. Your donation is blessed tenfold. Once again, I appreciate your contribution. The FBA Renaissance helps FBAs rediscover ourselves. Yes, we're not generic Africans, but a different, unique people. Not only different from Africans, but different and unique from any group. And oh my God, that is a mouthful and I love it. Thank you very much, Paul. So let me pause on that. But that right there, that is the comment. That is the statement. The FBA Renaissance helped FBAs rediscover who the hell we are and the pride we should have in our people. That's it. And we are a different and unique group of people. That's why everybody around the world mimic us. It's not the other way around. We are the originators. They are the duplicators. We're the foundation. And they're the house that the foundation is built upon. You can get tipped over with a strong gush of wind unless you had a strong foundation like us. You don't see us going into other people's cultures trying to take things out of their culture and bring them into ours. You don't see us going into other people's culture and trying to dress like them, speak like them, act like them. Everything around the globe is being taken out of our culture. You can't even be gay. You cannot even be gay without trying to steal from our culture, because what does gay men act like? Gay men act like the most ratchet version of a black woman. What does gay women act like? Gay women, if they're butch, they act like a foundational black American man. So when it comes down to us being a unique people, you can't be any more unique than foundational black Americans. And that's why the rest of the world copy us. We're not copying Africans. Africans are copying us. We're not copying Asians. Asians are copying us. We're not copying anybody around the globe. Why? Because we're the culture of the globe. We create. We don't duplicate. That is the thing about foundational black Americans that you are never going to be able to take away. We are the creators. And they are the duplicators. But let's continue. Breeze Omega said, I don't wear flip-flops at all. I'll wear some flip-flops from time to time. I got house shoes. I'm not going to lie about that. But you ain't going to catch me in no flip-flops outside of this house. You ain't gonna catch me in no flip-flops outside of this house. Why? Because I might need to throw them hands. And I can't do it in flip-flops. Well, I can, but you know, I think about things like people stepping on your feet to get a leg up. So yeah, I don't even do that. A brother AO said Adidas slides only in my crib. Shout out to you, family. Shout out to you. He said, oh, you can only wear Adidas in my house. They better, if you wearing slip slides, they better be Adidas. Shalom and salute to our brother, Mr. Fireworks in the building. He said for the shower flip-flops. Much love to you, my good brother. Project Leroy said we wore Timbs. They wear flip-flops. Exactly. Because somebody stepped on our toes while we fighting, we know we're going to keep on swinging. Let's keep it 100. And then also, if you had on the steel-toe Timbs, you can kick a man in the shins and watch him, oh, and then you hit him with an uppercut. Bow! But I digress. I'm showing my street side. Let me dial it back a little bit. Let's continue.
You take shots at Pan-Africanism.
You do.
All the time. Come on, I've heard you, brother. We got to be truthful now.
You do.
Oh, it's outdated. It don't work. I mean, you say your stuff.
I give my opinion about it when we have this type of discussion. But what I'm talking about is I don't go around to Pan-African creators' channels and be all up in their chat room and doing responses to all their videos and, you know, being upset about what they're doing. I don't care what y'all doing. I don't care.
That's what FBAs do, though.
Doesn't matter.
That's FBAs do that better than any Pan-Africans. We're like the first people who are Pan-African or adjacent that really have taken this up.
I want to say, Unc and Asar, you guys, to me, it seems like y'all really want, y'all really want the attention from Tariq Nasheed. Every night he does live spaces and he allows anybody to call in and get on the mic and say what you got to say.
I didn't say about Tariq.
I haven't said why you keep. They go from Dewan, who said something foul out of his mouth. I definitely get away with that, Dewan.
That's the only reason why
hold on for a minute, bro. Hold on.
And if you don't know what he's talking about Brother Dewan saying that he act like he got Tariq's dick in his mouth. And I'm gonna be honest with you, you do. This whole goddamn broadcast it's really been about Tariq, and nobody wants to say that. The only two brothers who mentioned that is Dewan and our good brother Sincere Love to God. That's what it's all about. It's all about getting the attention of Tariq, which is weird as hell to me. As a grown man, I don't want another grown man's attention. I want the women's attention. I'm going to be honest with you. If I'm going to work hard to get somebody's attention, it's going to be the women. Do you know how fine our sisters are? God dang. Trust me when I say this. If I want to get the attention of somebody, I'm going to try to get the attention of ZZ, that fine ass sister. I couldn't be with her because she's a Scorpio. And, you know, me and Scorpios, it's like water and oil. It doesn't really match. But still, I'm just giving you an example. That sister is fine as hell. That's whose attention I want. I don't want the attention of another man. I'll be out here trying to get the attention of our sister, Miss Niecy. Hey, Miss Niecy, how you doing? Your fine self. Our sister Stolen Ancestors. Our sister Astarte Jones. That's who attention I would want to get. I'm never going to work so hard to try to get the attention of another man. That is queer as hell to me. Let's continue.
About the topic. That's why we're not talking about the topic.
No, we're not talking about the topic because we actually was talking about the topic.
We never talked about the topic.
Yes, we did.
We did at the beginning for like.
And I didn't talk about Tariq much. I'm talking about the ideology.
I had not even mentioned.
Shout out to our sister Tappa Bay. She said, what you got against Scorpios? I ain't got nothing against Scorpios. My ex-fiance was a Scorpio. My little sister's a Scorpio. I know Scorpios well. And I know that, god dang it, as much as I like Scorpios, every woman for some reason that I find highly attractive end up being a Scorpio. And that's just God telling me, hey man, chill out. Just chill the hell out. Exactly. Scorpios are petty as hell too, but they're fun people, loving people. But everybody isn't made for everybody. That's all it is. My sister Miss Niecy said, now church, I'm too old for you, boo-boo. I get it, but I'm just making an example. If I'm going to be sitting here trying to get the attention of somebody, it's not going to be a man. It's not. We got way too many fine ass sisters in the FBA to even have to worry about another man. Shout out to Bernice Brad. She said, FBA facts. FBA women make my heart melt, especially when they look good and smell good. And trust me, our sisters are the ones that be looking and smelling good. Golly. Ooh. Ooh. Shout out to Brian in the building. Much love to you. He says, ZZ is a baddie for real. Hey, I'm with you there. She's a baddie for real. I could be damn good friends with her, but I would have to hold myself back. I'll end up falling in love all over again. I'll be like, hey, look, you know what? Look, you know what? We got to be friends from afar because god dang, yeah, you're just too fine to not fall for. You know, let me just say that. And I'm an honest person, so damn it, I'm going to let my honesty shine. Let the ancestors speak. Let's continue. Brian said, Miss Niecy fine as hell too. Exactly. We got a lot of fine sisters in the FBA. What do they want from Tariq? I'm going to be honest with you. They don't want nothing from Tariq. They want the people that follow Tariq. If they could put Tariq into a closet, lock it down, and nobody ever sees him again, that's what they would do. That's all they want. They really want the attention that Tariq gets. Let's continue.
Tariq's name, bro.
And I'm talking about the ideology that comes from Tariq.
Right. I'm saying I don't care about Tariq and his pseudomentaries. In his wild almost museum. I don't care about that, bro. It's the truth.
Okay. If you didn't care about him, then why did you need to throw digs at him then? If you didn't care about him, why did you bring him up? You brought him up. This damn Dr. Asar brought him up. You're dissing the museum. That's just a building, an institution that was created for us. Why would you diss the museum if you didn't care about Tariq? Like I said, these people show their cards. And as an avid poker player, you shouldn't be showing your cards. Not like that. You're just so prideful that you thought you could show your cards. You think you're going to get a win either way. And the fact of the matter is you're not. You're just showing how zesty you are. Very zesty. My grandfather used to tell me all the time, you don't talk about another man while that man is out of the room. If you got something to say to a man, you say it to his face. But here you are talking to two different people who aren't talking about Tariq, but y'all are honed in and fixated on Tariq, trying to debunk FBAs. Give me a hot second here, family. Here you go, Miss Niecy. And anybody else, if you want to come up and make a comment to this video clip here, feel free to do so. I think we're going to end up ending it off here today. And we will do the remaining hour or so on Friday. But yeah, family, a lot of this is just because they blame Tariq, because many of us have fallen off that bandwagon of Pan-Africanism. And they don't like it whatsoever. Shout out to my sister, Miss Nisi, in the building. What's up with you, my queen? How you doing?
I'm fine, church. Good evening to you and good evening to all in the chat. Blessings. This is just my opinion. After listening to that brouhaha bullshit, them two pan flunkies are two bitch-made niggas need to change their damn tampons, grow some nuts, and grow the fuck up. That's all I got to say, boo-boo. Be blessed.
Shout out to our sister, Miss Nisi. The hurricane came on through with all the high winds. Much love to you, my sister. And I would have to agree. It sounds like they really need to pull their skirts down. That's what it sounds like to me. It sounds like they have to pull them skirts on down. Their knees are showing. They're bleeding all over the concrete. Shout out to our sister, Miss Nisi, god dang it, because nobody does it like her. She comes up and she gets it going. Family, we're going to end here. We're going to continue the rest of this on Friday, because Sunday we have a lot of things to talk about. Shit, we got the Nigerians being kicked off of TikTok during the nighttime hours. I don't know what the hell is going on with the Nigerians or the Nigeria, but damn it, they damn show got kicked off of TikTok. And that is amusing to me. Then we have the Supreme Court that says, hey, we're going to take up this birthright citizenship case. We're going to come with a decision in early spring of next year. So we got a lot to talk about on Sunday. So I want to make sure to get this done by Friday. Family, you are not wrong. I want to say that one more time. You are not wrong. When you hear these people and it sounds like they're gaslighting you, you're not wrong. When you hear these people and it sounds like they're acting like somebody who's on their cycle, you are not wrong. And to be honest with you, they're acting worse than somebody on their cycle. I know many of women who be on a cycle and I don't even know about it. So that hyper emotional, the hyper fixation on Tariq Nasheed, yeah, that right there really shows us exactly where you are and where you stand. And it also shows us that we're correct. If we wasn't correct, we wouldn't have so many people trying to make us feel like we're wrong. And if everything we're doing is so wrong, why the hell does it feel so right? Why the hell? It's been one hell of a year for the ancestors. Can you guys agree? Do you all agree? We didn't see all kind of things go down this year. All by standing on our square. Standing on code. The ancestors have been burning down plantations. The ancestor has been exposing all these people that's been leeching off of us. And everybody's getting that anti-black karma. Hell, I saw Nabisco out here in Texas get deported Another Nabisco getting deported. And I was laughing and smiling the whole way. So for all the people that saying, oh, they're only going after black folks. No, they're not. They're going after black folks. They're going after Mexicans. They're going after Asians. They're going after white folk. It's been one hell of a year. So ain't nobody, and I mean nobody, going to come in here disrespecting us just because you don't like the fact we don't respect you. Take that shit back over there to all the people that participate in Pan-Africanism. And I'm not going to sit here and say all the people that participate in Pan-Africanism is stupid, because I still have some Pan-African friends, and they understand my position, and they know why I stand on my square, and we can go back and forth with each other, and they won't disrespect my ancestors, and I won't disrespect theirs. Why? Because that's called mutual respect. And you can't have mutual respect while disrespecting my ancestors, while disrespecting my grandmother and grandfather. You're not doing that, and I'm not allowing that. A B1 Zavon Scott in the building, my good brother. Much love to you. Thank you for being here. Family, you're not wrong. You're not wrong for wanting to stand up for yourself. You're not wrong for wanting to stand up for your lineage, heritage, and culture. Why? Because everybody else is afforded the right to stand up for their lineage, heritage, and culture. And let one of us disrespect their lineage, heritage, or culture, and then all of a sudden they're all on the news calling us out for being xenophobic. Shout out to our brother Iron Will. He said those massage parlors are getting raided. Yes, family. I have a videotape, and I don't know a clip. I don't know if I'm going to end up playing it on the broadcast because it has some nudity in it. But yeah, I got a clip of freaking Asians running. Well, not just the Asian. There was I think it was a Mexican guy running out the back door of a massage parlor, butt ass naked. And then you see the Asian woman come running out right after him, butt ass naked, running down the damn alley. The police telling the Mexican, hey, don't you run from me. And he said, I am not running. I'm not running. I'm standing here. I'm standing here. These are your model minorities. Yes, I seen that video too. Yeah, at the salon where she went running out, and then you just see this naked woman come running right after him with the towel over herself, just running. Like, I'm like, you damn. You know this is going on. You know that the deportation is happening. Why in the hell are you still practicing in god dang this shady business? That was just hilarious to me. But family, I want to thank you all for being here. Like I said, I want to thank my mods, my members, everybody who's donated, whether by Super Chat or Cash App or PayPal or any other location. Much love to each and every one of you. Family, I want everybody to insert into their minds that you are not crazy. You are not slow. You are not any of the sort. And everything that we saw, we saw. Everything that we heard, we heard. I don't give two shits about people wanting to come back and try to revamp what they had to say because they finding out that the backlash is louder than them speaking. We know what the hell we're talking about. And don't let anybody try to confuse you or abuse you into thinking otherwise. You are the greatest. In the words of Muhammad Ali, you're the greatest. That's it. And each and every one of these people know it. They just want to be able to harness it. If they can lie to you and convince you that you're something that you're not, guess what? Then they have power over you and they can harness that power. The thing they hate about FBA the most is that we're not allowing anybody to harness our power anymore. But with that being said, family, if you're not subscribed, go ahead, hit that subscribe button along with the notification bell so you'll be notified whenever videos like this drop. Please make sure you're hitting that like and share button so we can beat up the algorithm. Make sure we get this message out to the ears that need to hear. And if you have not done so yet, please click the link in the description. Go to change.org. Put your signature on the petition for reparation, as well as hitting the Telegram link and joining the Telegram group so that we can combat or circumvent the whole situation of YouTube shadow banning us, family. Much love to each and every one of you. Thank you all for being here once again. And until Friday, y'all have a beautiful rest of your day. The doors of the church are now closed. Peace, family.
My grandfather built this country, man. He fought wars for it. And most places he went wouldn't let him sit down and get a cup of coffee. I can't even catch a cab in New York. You know, it doesn't matter how many degrees I get. All you people see is color. You're American. My grandfather was born here, Duke. And you people still look at me as just another nigga.
I know that the government, whatever can't stand us black people, he doing everything in the world to make black man be extinct. But I'm going to tell you one thing, us black people going to survive. So fuck everybody. I'm out.